Chapter 921. Those who were able to arrive at the earliest stage were definitely the strongest, formidable martial artists from the human camp in the Gemini Whirlpool region. The dozen or so new teams, including the 3 teams that had arrived earlier, had a total of close to 90 formidable martial artists. Among them, there were more than 30 peak-stage Regis Godfiends, Soul-type Great Masters, and peak Regis Godfiends. Blade River Emperor actually retired. TSK. I heard he was only an Emperor-level pinnacle, yet he was able to slaughter so many warriors. He definitely has treasures. Right. Back then he defeated the Blood Beast Emperor and killed Purple Bell Emperor, causing the Heavy Arrow Emperor to fall into a deep slumber and become his slave. He relied on the strongest fire god Origin crystal explosion. Yet he was completely fine. To say he doesn't have any defensive treasures, I don't believe it. And recently he's been massacring. Obviously his strength has risen greatly. He probably has new treasures. Everyone, the foreign race team has already been forced to retreat by the Blade River Emperor. Sky Formation Emperor has been saved by him. That foreign race team, I heard they have multiple Ultimate Emperor-level warriors and 2 treasures. They were actually forced to retreat by the Blade River Emperor. This Blade River Emperor is too strong. He definitely has more than 1 treasure on him. Close to 90 warriors from the human camp stood in all directions, staring at the silver-armored, silver-winged youth in the center. Luo Feng's gaze swept. These close to 90 warriors were from the human camp. However, only 1 truly belonged to the human camp. The rest were all foreign races. Emperor Jia Qiong, don't tell me you want to act against me too? Luo Feng looked at the human emperor. He had met many emperors in Hongmeng City as the Blade River Emperor. This Emperor Jia Qiong was one of them. Of course not. I came because I knew Sky Formation Emperor was in danger. I came specifically to deal with the foreign race teams. Why would I attack my own people? Emperor Jia Qiong was within the group of warriors. Looking around, his voice was like thunder, resounding loudly. The Blade River Emperor is a human warrior. Even though he's retired, he's still human. I'm afraid about 30% of the warriors here are from Hongmeng Alliance. Don't tell me everyone wants to act against us humans too? No, we won't interfere. We were originally here to deal with the foreign race teams. We won't interfere. Immediately, many Hongmeng Alliance members spoke. Since he was a member of the Hong Alliance, he could run, but he couldn't. The Hong Alliance had a high degree of control over the various races, and the Hong Alliance definitely had humans as its core. For the human powerhouse Blade River King to be so strong, he probably had some background. If Blade River King was killed by one of them, it would be too easy for Blade River King's friends, teachers, and others to seek revenge in the future. Looks like he hasn't gone crazy, Luo Feng thought. Perhaps the human powerhouses and the foreign race powerhouses in the Hong Alliance would secretly kill them out of greed. However, there were so many powerhouses present. There were still many things to consider. The Hong Alliance may not interfere, but we are not from the Hong Alliance, the Snow Horn King said coldly. Our friends from the Hong Alliance can just watch from the side. Since he's retired, he won't be protected by the military system. It has nothing to do with us. Many warriors stared hard at Luo Feng. There were a large number of races in the universe that came to fight in the extraterritorial battlefield under the pretext of joining the human camp. The Hong Alliance was only a small part of the human camp. The majority of them were not from the Hong Alliance. They may have some relationship with the humans now, but the moment they retired, they would return home and have nothing to do with the humans. Hence, they had nothing to worry about. Luo Feng too kept the extreme Rainbow Emperor in his world ring, after which he looked coldly at everything. Before, he left the extreme Rainbow Emperor behind, planning to forcefully attack. However, now that there were more and more strong warriors, forcefully attacking wasn't suitable anymore. He alone had an advantage. More warriors have arrived. The Snowhorn Emperor glanced into the distance. Attention all, if you're still watching, the treasures will be taken by the later warriors. Attack! Kill! Immediately, dozens of warriors moved at the same time. They were from the same camp, hence they didn't have to worry about being surrounded and attacked after obtaining the treasures. Hence more than half of them moved at the same time. Very good. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Oomph. His silver wings suddenly moved, unleashing his 3 beats to travel through the universe. Right now, his beast god state was much higher, hence his flying speed was much faster and more ferocious than before. The dozens of experts only saw a zigzagging silver light and easily dodged their attacks. Rumble, with so many warriors attacking, the surrounding space was completely torn apart. Large amounts of space shards flew about, affecting the other warriors greatly. However, with so many space shards, Luo Feng was like a fish in water. He didn't feel any discomfort at all. His speed was so fast that it made many of the warriors dumbstruck. The Great Alliance members, including the human Cha Ming Emperor, along with a few other warriors who didn't participate in the battle, were all watching from afar, stunned. The Blade River Emperor's teleportation speed is terrifying. His instantaneous changes in direction are also ridiculously fast. With so many space shards, he can actually change direction thousands to tens of thousands of times. His movements are unpredictable and shocking. Dozens of warriors surrounding him. I'm afraid none of them can even get close to him. Too strong. With such a frightening, instantaneous burst of speed, this Saber River King can go anywhere he wants in this vast universe. The spectators all realized how terrifying the Blade River Emperor was. With such instantaneous speed, his ability to escape was simply too strong. If there wasn't a space lock, the Blade River Emperor could teleport away. With the space lock, the Blade River Emperor's instantaneous speed, looking down on countless warriors, could easily escape. Overall, the Blade River King's escaping abilities were heaven-defying, unless it was an expert with a treasure like the Muddy Ice Silk Net, or a special spirit weapon battle technique, or a soul illusion technique. In short, one had to first control the Blade River King's escaping speed. Only then could they deal with him. Otherwise, it would be very hard to kill him. You want to affect me with just this little soul attack? Luo Feng's roar was like a god's, resounding within the minds of every warrior surrounding him. I can easily escape. However, Snowhorn Emperor, you are really annoying. Shwa, a silver light flashed, closing in on Snowhorn Emperor. How can his speed be so fast? So many warriors can't even restrict him. Snowhorn Emperor's vision blurred. Seeing Luo Feng's cold eyes under the silver helmet, he immediately understood. He wants to kill me. Hua! 6 purple glowing black balls appeared in Luo Feng's left palm. These 6 balls were smeared with Feymaw venom. On them were also engraved the beast god descending first claw. Under the powerful willpower and control, a blurry beast god silhouette appeared in mid-air. How that right claw had 6 stars in it, immediately slashing down. Break! A huge tortoise-shell beast silhouette suddenly appeared behind Snowhorn Emperor. 2 blades appeared in his hands, immediately becoming a huge pair of scissors that could slice apart the land and skies. The huge right claw clashed with the scissors. Hua! The spatial fragments floating in the surroundings were instantly turned into a stream of particles by the shockwave. Meanwhile, the right claw, which contained 6 stars within it, was incomparably powerful. Every small black sphere was far heavier than a star. Kacha! The giant scissors immediately collapsed, and the right claw immediately grabbed onto the Snowhorn King, who had an expression of disbelief on his face and was unable to escape in time. Pong! His god body immediately shattered. In terms of strength, Snowhorn Emperor was indeed at the pinnacle of the Emperor level. With Luo Feng's willpower and control of his spirit energy, with the support of the General Spirit and his powerful beast god state, he was indeed at the pinnacle of the Emperor level. An Emperor pinnacle, with his treasures, could normally match the pinnacle of the Emperor level, or even kill them. Like Purple Bell Emperor, Luo Feng, with the star map, treasure, could completely suppress the pinnacle of the Emperor level. Why? 6 black balls with purple halos pierced through the Snowhorn King's godly body. Each black ball could destroy about 5% of the Snowhorn King's godly body. With 6 balls added together, it was more than 30%. Try to kill me without burning my body. You really can't. No! The cold eyes of the Snow Horn King, who had just condensed his divine body, were suddenly filled with fear. He could feel that the moment the 6 black balls pierced through his divine body, a special substance was crazily eroding his divine body. In an instant, 35% of his divine body had been eroded. Hwah! The 6 black balls turned in mid-air and once again condensed into the roaring beast god silhouette, right claw descending once more. Die! Luo Feng watched coldly. Blade River Emperor. A cold voice suddenly resounded within Luo Feng's mind. Simultaneously, a terrifying and oppressive attack came from the distance. A 300 tall black thunder hammer pierced through the air, its speed shocking, and everywhere it passed, the space was like a steel plate being crushed. Pung, pung, pung. Space was crushed into particles. The black thunderhammer speed was so fast that even Luo Feng's expression changed. I can't dodge this attack with my killing wings. Go! Luo Feng waved his left hand. The 8 black spheres rapidly tore through the air. These 8 black spheres were all engraved with mysterious runes, and in midair, they directly condensed into an enormous phantom of the beast god. Compared to the phantom of the beast god that had previously used the beast god's descent, Sky-Ripping Claw, this phantom of the beast god was clearly more condensed and real. The 8 black balls appeared on the beast god's long tail. The 100 long tail fiercely lashed out like a long whip. Howl! The beast god's silhouette roared, its tail lashing at the thunderhammer. Beast god armament's second form, 1 thread whip. The beast god armament had a total of 6 forms. The first was the beast god descending. The second was 1 thread whip. This was also the strongest move Luo Feng could use after comprehending the second part of the 7 transformations. A tail that turned into a blurry stream of light and a towering black lightning hammer directly collided in the air. The 8 stars and the lightning hammer collided head-on. Rumble. With the whip of the tail, it immediately crumbled and the 8 stars were knocked away, following which they flew towards Luo Feng and landed in his left palm. This made Luo Feng crease his eyebrows as he looked at the distant warrior. The thunder hammer was also sent flying back from the impact, simultaneously shrinking to a height of around 30 m, landing in the hands of a 20 m tall black-horned peculiar armor giant with 3 blades on his forehead. He too was staring at Luo Feng. Blade River Emperor. His voice rumbled, rumbling over. The silver-armored and silver-winged Luo Feng stood in midair, looking at the newcomer. Black Razor Emperor. His voice similarly resounded over. Chapter 922. The Black Razor King didn't participate in the birth of the Sealing Star, but it didn't affect his reputation. The 4 great factions of the foreign battlefields all had their own famous super-existences. The Life Destruction King, Pagoda Dragon King, Southern Punishment, 7 Sword Kings, all of these famous existences had already spread far and wide. This Black Razor King was a super-existence that could stand on par with them. Although he was part of the human faction, he came from a remote universe territory. He wasn't part of the Great Alliance. The Black Razor King had a treasure hammer called the Black Razor. He had made a name for himself. It's the Black Razor King. The Black Razor King is here. He came so early. This time, Blade River King is in trouble. Black Razor King's strength is very terrifying. Back then, he fought with Pagoda Dragon King for a long time, but in the end, he felt that the other party was not to be trifled with, so he stopped fighting. In the entire 7th battlefield, the Black Razor King is definitely one of the top existences. The Knife River King is going to suffer a great loss. With the Black Razor King here, I won't be able to get the treasure of the Blade River King. You want to obtain the Blade River King's treasure? That Saber River King flapped his wings and easily shook you off. In the distance, many formidable martial artists from the alien races had given up. They knew very well how terrifying a super existence like the Black Razor Sovereign was. Even if tens of peak-stage Regis God Fiends joined forces, the Black Razor Sovereign would probably defeat them one by one. All the other experts were watching the fight between Black Razor King and Knife River King. 2 figures stood tall in the void. One was tall, and the other was small. However, the aura it emitted also caused many experts' hearts to tremble. You seem to have some strength. The voice of the tall, demon-like Black Razor King rumbled. To be able to take a blow from me, you have some strength. This is the first time I've fought against an expert of your level in the foreign battleground. It really makes my blood boil. Come on, let me see if you're worthy of your title. A voice resounded from the other side. Luo Feng's eyes were blazing, staring at the distant Black Razor, his entire being filled with endless battle intent. A powerhouse, battling with the strong, stepping on them one by one, chasing the end of the vast universe. This was Luo Feng's ambition. All right, then let's see if I live up to my name. As soon as the Black Razor King's voice fell, he moved. Xiao! He turned into a bolt of lightning, his speed astonishing. If Black Razor used the hammer, then that hammer, a treasure's attack speed, would naturally be shockingly fast. Luo Feng wouldn't be able to escape. However, Black Razor's own speed, Luo Feng didn't even bother with it. With the Wu Killer Wings, his instantaneous speed was far beyond Black Razor's. Swish! Luo Feng's wings flapped and easily pulled open the distance. Within the shattered space, Luo Feng was like a ghost, easily flickering and changing directions. Go! Luo Feng's left palm floated 8 black balls. Immediately, 8 black balls revolved in space. The engravings engraved on them glowed with a golden light. Under Luo Feng's powerful willpower that exceeded even half of the knights in the universe, with his spirit energy and willpower, the origin laws of the universe, immediately a 100 m long beast god formed. Oh, the beast god roared. It was in reality a spirit weapon, and as a spirit weapon treasure, how shocking was its flying speed. Shua! He arrived in front of the Black Razor King, and at the same time, a misty whip shadow descended. Humph! Black Razor King held the divine hammer in his hand and took a step forward, causing a large number of space fragments to be shaken into particles. The divine hammer heavily smashed out. Before, he could casually break this move with his divine hammer. Now that he was serious, he was naturally full of confidence. Wong. The beast god's whip-like tail suddenly bounced and retracted, dodging the godly hammer's attack head-on. Then, it swung out again towards the Black Razor King. What speed! Black Razor was shocked. He couldn't retract his full-strength hammer in time to block. He could only roar and punch with his left fist filled with boundless power. His left hand was covered in a layer of dark red metal, almost like a special glove. With one punch, it activated the origin laws, causing the surrounding space to twist and shatter. Pung! The heavy fist and the whip shadow clashed. Black Razor's fist smashed a neutron star easily. However, at this time, he felt his fist tremble violently, a wave of pain. Good! Black Razor howled ferociously, getting even crazier. Ha! Black Razor, your hammer speed seems to be a little slow. In the distance, the silver-armored and silver-winged Luo Feng controlled the huge beast god to attack again. In space, the beast god flickered time and time again. Every time it moved, its tail was like a demon, sometimes lashing out, sometimes retracting halfway, and then lashing out again. It was shockingly fast, making it impossible for the opponent to grasp its movements. After all, normal animals, their tail's instantaneous whipping speed was the fastest. The beast god was the same. Black Razor was enraged. Again and again, the hammer smashed into the beast god's tail. Every time the 8 black balls were smashed away. Only Luo Feng was a spirit reader. Even when the 8 stars were smashed away, he could immediately turn and form the beast god's silhouette to attack again. This was the difference between a spirit reader and a fighter. A fighter couldn't retreat. The moment his weapon was broken, his body would be attacked. However, a spirit reader, even if his weapon was broken, because he dodged far away, he could still control the weapon to attack again. He actually blocked it time and time again. While Luo Feng controlled the 8 stars to attack, he was shocked within. The way he uses that hammer has changed too. Every time he swings it, there's a bit of spinning force. One strike after another. It's continuous and unending. Even when my whip intentionally dodges the hammer before swinging, he's still able to block it. Pung, pung, pung. Like a demon, the black razor howled, wielding the hammer and rushing towards Luo Feng. Every step was shockingly fast. Even when the beast god whip lashed at him, he easily smashed it with a swing of his hammer, smashing the 8 stars back, almost like a heavy truck smashing through the road, easily smashing a small car. However, even when the car was smashed, it would reform and attack again, before being smashed away again. What power! Luo Feng's expression changed as he watched. He finally felt the difference between himself and the Black Razor and the 7 Blade Emperors. The reason why I was able to withstand his leaving hand hammer earlier was because the Black Razor King didn't use much strength at the beginning. Now that he is serious, every time we exchange blows, his divine hammer is as steady as Mount Tai, while my 8 stars are constantly smashed away. Even with the 8 stars, I'm still at a complete disadvantage, barely able to affect its speed. The small car may be smashed away time and time again by the heavy truck, but it still affected the truck's speed. I'm not his match. In a real fight, if I let Fu Shui use the muddy ice net to restrict him, I might have a chance. However, Black Razor hasn't even ignited his body. Obviously, he doesn't intend to fight to the death with me. Luo Feng muttered to himself, "Since I've already tested my strength, it's time to leave." However, before I leave, Luo Feng's gaze swept across the distant Snow Horn Emperor. He couldn't forget the Snow Horn Emperor, who was the most passionate about killing him. I'll deal with him first. There were more and more warriors gathering around. They were all divided into their own teams, watching the battle between Black Razor and Blade River Emperor from space. Black Razor was tyrannical and tyrannical. Even when Blade River Emperor used all his strength to attack, it was broken through time and time again. He had no way to defend. However, that Blade River Emperor was always far away. Black Razor couldn't even touch him. Even if Black Razor rushed over, Blade River Emperor could easily shake him off with a flap of his wings. Even though Blade River Emperor can easily destroy an Emperor limit, he's still not Black Razor's match. Black Razor's strength is heavenly, completely suppressing Blade River Emperor. However, in terms of speed, he can't compare to Blade River Emperor. Black Razor is indeed powerful. Respect, respect. I'll make a move first. With his spirit energy infused, his voice reverberated throughout the endless space. Shua! Luo Feng's wings flapped, immediately becoming a curved silver light. With a flash and a turn, he actually once again appeared before Snowhorn Emperor. Snowhorn Emperor, who was with his teammates, immediately changed his expression. You want to fight me and steal my treasures? You overestimate yourself. The 6 black balls with a faint purple glow formed a phantom of a beast god, roaring as it pounced towards the Snowhorn King. The teammates beside the Snowhorn King moved aside one by one. Having witnessed the might of the Knife River King, they were unwilling to offend the Knife River King. Sila! The right claw tore Snowhorn Emperor apart. The 6 black balls pierced through. Over 30% of his body was destroyed. Blade River Emperor, I'll be back for revenge. Snowhorn Emperor roared unwillingly as he detonated his own body. He knew he wasn't Blade River Emperor's match. However, he was after all an Emperor limit. In the future, he would definitely be revived by time and space. And if he was killed and taken away, he would have no hope at all. Rumble, boundless shockwaves spread out in all directions. Only 30% of Jiang Yi's divine body remained. With the combined efforts of many peak king-conferred formidable martial artists, only a few peak-stage king-conferred formidable martial artists were severely injured. No other formidable martial artist died. Just like that, Snowhorn Emperor fell. Xiao. In the eyes of many experts, the Blade River King had left just like that. Before he left, he had even killed an extreme conferred king-ranked expert, the Snowhorn King. Moreover, the speed at which the Blade River King had left was extremely fast. All the experts could only shake their heads and sigh inwardly. Even the Black Razor King would have to use his parting hammer to escape. However, Black Razor Emperor was clear that his hammer, the opponent could definitely use the beast god silhouette to block it wouldn't affect his escape at all. After a while, Blade River Emperor had already flown out of the space lockdown, after which with the teleportation, he vanished. What power, what speed? Black Razor Emperor's voice rumbled. Sighing, he became a beam of light and vanished. At the end of the month, there would be double votes. One vote counted as 2 votes. Everyone support Tomato. Chapter 923. The shattered void began to gradually reform. As for the floating continent that had been flying through the twin revolving domains, it had been completely pierced through, leaving behind a massive hole that was hundreds of thousands of kilometers wide. Several hundred powerhouses were scattered all over the battlefield, sighing as they watched that battle. Suddenly, a powerful aura appeared out of thin air. All they saw was a metal man with a faint black luster beneath his armor. An invisible pressure filled the air, causing the several hundred human powerhouses to fall silent. It's the life-destruction king. It's the life-destruction king of the machine race. He's from the machine race. How'd he arrive so quickly? Didn't you hear that the life-destruction king had already put out a bounty for the Saber River King's coordinates? I'm afraid that someone in the human camp leaked out his coordinates just now. That's why the life-destruction king was able to arrive so quickly. Of the several hundred human powerhouses, almost all of them were king-ranked martial artists. However, there were many low-level and high-level king-ranked martial artists. Facing this life-destruction king with a monstrous aura, none of the humans dared to provoke him. The life-destruction king stood in the void, his eyes sweeping around. He angrily shouted, "Where is the Saber River King?" The life-destruction king. Although the human powerhouses didn't provoke him, they didn't fear him either. One of them was like a small mountain, its voice rumbling. The Saber River King just fought with the Black Razor King. After the battle, he left and killed the Snowhorn King. I don't think the Saber River King knows where the Divine Kingdom has been transferred to. He fought with the Black Razor King. The Life-Destruction King looked at the mountain-like life. The mountain-like life boomed. You'll know when you see for yourself. Shwa! A hazy light appeared in the air, directly forming a 3D projection. This sort of technology had existed since the era of Earth-based cities. However, it was clear that this technology was much more advanced in the universe. It was almost 100% virtual. The projection began to play out the battle between the Black Razor King and the Saber River King. The Life-Destruction King silently watched until the end. He and the Black Razor King were among the most powerful existences in the entire foreign battleground. At their level, they were able to see many mysteries just by watching this virtual projection. Without a doubt, this battle was a probing battle between the Black Razor King and the Saber River King. In the universe, unless one wanted to fight to the death, very few people would burn their immortal divine bodies. Black Razor King and Blade River King didn't burn their immortal god bodies. The Black Razor King only used his most basic ability, his divine hammer. The Life-Destruction King said to himself, he only used one of his 3 ultimate skills. As for that Blade River King, legend has it that he specializes in blade techniques. Yet this time he used a spirit weapon to attack. Moreover, he has Heavy Arrow King as his servant. According to the intelligence, Heaven Array King and Extreme Rainbow King are following him. Heaven Array King was saved by him, and Extreme Rainbow King is from another camp. Since he is so respectful behind Saber River King, he should also be Saber River King's servant. How many slaves does he have? He's very good at flying. His defense has long since become famous, and this time he revealed his spirit weapon. The Life-Destruction King felt that this Saber River King was truly unfathomable. He had so many cards in his hand, and just the fact that he hadn't sent any of his subordinates was enough to show just how confident he was. The human powerhouses all looked at the Life-Destruction King, waiting for his reaction. After the Life-Destruction King finished watching the battle projection, he was silent for a moment. Then, he said in a low voice, Saber River King has the strength to match his fame. Even if he has treasures, he is still qualified to possess them. As he spoke, he teleported away. The Life-Destruction King had already left. But his words still caused a great uproar amongst the hundreds of human powerhouses. The Life Destruction King acknowledged the Saber River King's strength. He acknowledged the Saber River King's strength. He acknowledged that the Saber River King has the qualifications to possess treasures. What a pity. It looks like it'll be hard to see the Life Destruction King and the Saber River King fight. Since the Life Destruction King has said this, he won't chase after the Saber River King anymore. This battle, the Saber River King has clearly proven his strength. The human powerhouses all sighed. The circle of powerhouses was like this. Only the strong were worthy of possessing treasures. Even if the weak were lucky enough to obtain a treasure, they still had to use it carefully lest other powerhouses find out about it. Once they were exposed, they would be surrounded and attacked. As for the Life Destruction King, the Seven Sword Kings, and the others, which one of them didn't have many treasures? For instance, the Seven Sword King. His 7 swords was a set of treasures, as well as several other treasures. The Black Razor King and the Life Destruction King were the same. Everyone in the foreign battlefield knew that they had treasures, but no one had ever heard of anyone trying to steal their treasures. This was true strength. But in this battle, the Saber River King and the Black Razor King's direct confrontation had truly proved themselves. They had proved that they also had the strength to do so. Perhaps there was still a difference between them and the Black Razor King, but the Saber River King's strange speed and amazing defense, this made him difficult to deal with. He was no less terrifying than the others. After this battle, the legends of the Saber River King began to spread throughout the entire foreign battlefield. Countless powerhouses compared the Saber River King to the Black Razor King, the Black Tomb King, the Seven Sword King, and the Pagoda Dragon King. In the eyes of the countless powerhouses of the foreign battlefield, the Saber River King might be weaker than the others, but the Saber River King's speed was enough to cause countless powerhouses to despair. I'd rather meet the Seven Sword King or Life Destruction King than meet the Saber River King. If I meet the Seven Sword King or Life Destruction King, I might be able to escape. But if I meet the Saber River King, space will be locked down. Who could be faster than him? You won't even be able to escape. Be careful. Don't provoke the Saber River King. 6,000 years ago, he was already able to withstand the explosion of the strongest fire god, Origin Crystal. Now that his strength has risen so much, he's definitely even more ridiculous. His defense is terrifying, his flying speed is terrifying, we need to hide. The legend of the Saber River King began to spread through the mouths of the warriors from all over the vast universe, causing the Saber River King to become a famous figure in the universe. And Luo Feng, after that battle, left the Gemini Whirlwind Domain. He quietly teleported back to the human domain from his god country. Virtual Universe Company Headquarters. Luo Feng returned to his Sector Lord form, sitting in the Virtual Universe Company ship, passing through the Universe Pathway and heading towards Primal Universe Primal Chaos City. Your Majesty, Your Majesty, the Emperor-level Undying in charge of the ship was extremely respectful. Luo Feng only smiled and nodded before finding a private cabin to rest in. Captain, is there a need to be so courteous to that Luo Feng? He's just a Sector Lord. With your Emperor-level strength, you can easily kill a Sector Lord with a wave of your hand. An Undying said. The other crew members beside began to discuss when they heard, saying, "That's right, that Luo Feng got lucky and was accepted as a disciple by the Primal Chaos City leader. If not for his status as a personal disciple, what's a Sector Lord like him? The main reason this time is for him. We have to specially send him to Primal Chaos City. If it was a normal Sector Lord, we would definitely have to wait until the number of passengers reaches a certain number before we leave." The captain heard and laughed. Even though he's a Sector Lord, even though I can easily kill him, he's after all the personal disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. It's fine if we talk about it secretly, but don't talk about it outside. If that Luo Feng uses his status as a personal disciple to pursue, no one will be able to protect you. We understand. Don't worry, Captain. We aren't stupid. It's fine if we talk secretly. I just can't stand his attitude. It's almost like we have to be respectful. The Undying crew members were a little indignant. The captain shook his head within. It was normal to feel indignant. He felt indignant internally too. However, he still had to act respectfully. Since he wanted to climb within the virtual universe company and hold a high position, if his own strength wasn't enough, then he couldn't afford to offend anyone. Someone like Luo Feng, who could reach the heavens naturally, couldn't be offended. Back then he was so glorious. Close to 10,000 years have passed. After becoming the personal disciple of the primal Chaos City leader, there's no news of him having any accomplishments at all. I'm afraid he'll soon be forgotten. The captain thought. In the air above Primal Chaos City, the ship slowly stopped. Your Majesty, Your Majesty. The captain led the crew members to send Luo Feng off respectfully at the cabin door. Luo Feng gazed below at the ancient city shrouded in endless chaos energy. This was Primal Chaos City. Ever since he became the personal disciple of the city leader, he had the right to permanently reside in Primal Chaos City. Actually, even if he were to attempt the Heavenly Bridge, he now had the right to permanently reside here. Within Primal Chaos City, Tru Yan's residence, Luo Feng rushed straight into the mansion, seeing some of Tru Yan's disciples and some of his direct disciples. Senior Luo Feng. Many disciples within the residence were passionately shouting out to Luo Feng. Luo Feng also asked them and found out where his teacher was staying. After a while, Luo Feng rushed to the outside of a courtyard before suddenly stopping. I heard you shouting from afar. Why aren't you coming in? Tru Yan's voice resounded from within the courtyard. Luo Feng smiled and pushed the door open. Tru Yan sat there. With a wave of his hand, the door closed again. You come to see your teacher like this? Tru Yan sat there, looking at Luo Feng, seemingly cold. Luo Feng laughed. With a flip of his hand, a fiery red wine bottle appeared. This bottle was about the size of a palm. Its design was peculiar, similar to a big-bellied gorilla. On it were carved complex origin law engravings. It actually carried the energy of the fire origin laws, after which Luo Feng respectfully placed the bottle on his teacher's table. Your disciple has returned. According to teacher's instructions, I've brought wine. Luo Feng said seriously. I just don't know if teacher is satisfied. Satisfied. Tru Yan's eyes stared wide, looking passionately at the bottle of wine. Carefully inspecting it, he extended his furry hand to touch it, nodding. That's right, this is it. How? In our human race, even with a huge amount of wealth, it's hard to buy this wine. And even if there is, even an emperor-level warrior would go bankrupt. There's very little of this wine in our human race. I've only tasted one cup. I didn't expect. Tru Yan immediately smiled and looked at Luo Feng. My good disciple, the powerful Blade River Emperor, looks like you've gained a lot from this trip to the alien battlefield. Luo Feng smiled. His gains were huge. Chapter 924. Let's talk about something first. I heard that the Endless Sea region version of Stellar Transformations would be open beta tomorrow. I wonder how the underwater world of Stellar Transformations would be like in the game. Although Tomato did not have the time to play, he wanted to go sightseeing and experience the underwater world of Stellar Transformations in the game. Now, let's talk about the monthly votes. The competition for the monthly votes in August was fierce. Many sect masters rewarded him crazily. Student Purple Moon was even more ferocious. In the end, he could not even make bank transfers. Groups of brothers rewarded him and worked hard to accumulate the monthly votes. It was crazy. Many of them were hurt. After all, many of them were students or had just started working. They did not have much pocket money. Tomato felt that the comments and comment section was not right. Tomato decided not to compete anymore. Tomato was very calm. Today, at noon, there would be a double monthly votes event. Hence, Tomato pulled the votes at the end of the update. He did not expect it to increase by almost 3,000 votes. Tomato, who was originally calm, was stunned. He felt his blood boiling. Brothers, you are awesome. That's awesome. Tomato was very touched. Because of you, Tomato could increase by 3,000 votes. Tomato could not stay calm. I have to write a chapter to express how excited I am. Because excited, that's why it's late, bird, but don't worry. Since there are many late chapters this week, Tomato will be making up for it from tomorrow onwards. Hence, he will be making up for it tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, of course. This is to make up for it, and not to explode. Well, as for the monthly votes, vote for Tomato if you have them. Tomato will be even more excited. His plot will be even more exciting. Brothers, vote for the monthly votes. To be continued. If you like this work, please come to Chidian. Come to vote for it. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 925. His biggest game this time was, of course, successfully surviving the life and death inheritance within the Star Tower, after which he acquired the Star Pagoda diagram and the Pearl, these two treasures. Over 6,000 years of training, his willpower and consciousness had undergone a complete transformation. His beast god state had also reached an extremely high level. In terms of wealth, that month of massacring in the Star Tower, he had over 40 battles. Every battle could bring him tens of billions of wealth, occasionally even more. Adding it all up, what kind of shocking number was that? Even though during the massacres, Luo Feng would occasionally open the virtual universe to receive information, allowing the army system to check and confirm Luo Feng's military achievements. Most of the battles were never made public. Even so, the military achievements were an astronomical number. Even though the wealth exchanged for was far from what he got from killing and robbing, it was still extremely high. If the gains weren't huge, your disciple wouldn't be able to afford this bottle of purple fire ape wine. Luo Feng smiled. After your disciple retired, I realized that the army system had this wine for sale. Back then, I was very shocked. There was actually purple fire ape wine. The moment your disciple thought of teacher, I didn't hesitate at all, very direct, not feeling the pinch at all, and immediately exchanged for it. Huh? Tru Yin couldn't help but laugh happily, his hand caressing the bottle of purple fire ape wine. Obviously, he really liked it. The purple fire ape wine was produced by the universe's unique life form, the purple fire ape. Even though the purple fire ape had the word ape in its name, in truth it had nothing to do with the human race, the ape-man race. It was born from the universe. It was a ball of purple fire that formed its outer form, just that it looked like an ape. In essence, it was still a ball of mysterious fire. It had an extremely strong battle strength. There were over 10,000 purple fire apes in the universe. After countless years, their numbers would only decrease and never increase. However, with time, a few absolute warriors were born from the purple fire apes. Plus, their living environment was special. For example, if they were to drill into some extremely terrifying flame region, even a knight wouldn't dare enter. They would be burnt to ashes the moment they entered. However, the purple fire apes didn't worry about this. And they were famous in the universe for the wine they brewed. The name was named after them. Purple fire ape wine. This wine, just the taste alone, was already the best of the best. Of course, there were countless fine wines in the universe. It was impossible to be so expensive just because it tasted good. The first advantage of the purple fire ape wine was that it could improve one's body and soul. After drinking a few cups, one's soul would undergo some changes, and the clarity of one's perception of the law of fire would increase. His body would also become more accustomed to the law of fire. His senses would become clearer, and he would be able to use it more smoothly and powerfully. The second advantage was that he would be drunk after drinking. Even experts, even universe venerables, after drinking a cup, as long as they didn't purposely erase the alcohol in their bodies and let it do its thing, they would naturally get drunk. After getting drunk and waking up, all their worries would disappear. Super experts paid more attention to this point because it was very difficult to get drunk with an immortal physique like them. Even if they had endless wealth, it would still be difficult to get drunk. Apart from these two advantages, there were also many additional abilities. Drinking a cup, the gentle energy within could transform a normal person into a universe-level warrior. Drinking a little more, one would become a universe-level warrior with extremely high talent in the fire laws. Of course, no one would waste tens of billions to nurture a universe-level warrior. That was too wasteful. Even an undying's life couldn't compare to even 1% of a cup of wine. This wine, Luo Feng, spent 80 billion. You're lucky, Tru Yin exclaimed. the Army's exchange system in the outer space battlefield. Many of the treasures there are provided by the countless races participating in the war. Many of them aren't even from our Great Alliance. Only in some of the more desolate regions of the universe, many races provide treasures. That's how the Army's exchange system's treasury was formed. There were many races, hence, there would occasionally be special treasures. However, one has to use points to exchange. Even if a warrior were to discover this bottle of purple fire ape wine in the outer space battlefield, those willing to spend such a huge amount of points just to buy a bottle of wine, that was extremely rare. Hence you managed to buy it. Yes, there's only one bottle in the system. Luo Feng laughed. This bottle, I can't bear to drink too much. I have to drink it slowly, only a little at a time. Tru Yan's eyes had a peculiar glint. When that time comes, I'll call my brothers over and purposely make them starve to death. Luo Feng couldn't help but laugh. What plans do you have for returning this time? Tru Yan looked at Luo Feng. I'm preparing to first attempt the Primal Sky Mountain. Luo Feng said, after I'm done, I'm preparing to head out and explore some of the secret regions in the universe. Don't worry, teacher. I'll definitely go to the less dangerous ones. Those that are too famous and dangerous, I'll definitely not go. I know my limits. As long as you know. Only then did Tru Yan let out a sigh of relief. Even so, you have to be careful. Unexpected things can happen in the secret regions at any time. After all, the secret regions are special places. They have many different rules compared to the vast universe star fields. I understand. Luo Feng nodded. I know your strength too, Blade River Emperor. At this point, Tru Yan instantly smiled. The Saber River King had indeed caused quite a commotion in the extraterritorial battlefield. Right now, the Saber River King was extremely famous. At the very least, among the circle of human king-ranked experts, the Saber River King was definitely considered a famous person. Stronger than Blade River Emperor, besides Tru Yan and Sky Feather Emperor and a few other invincible emperors, there were a few antiques that had lived for trillions of years and were close to Tru Yan and Sky Feather Emperor. There really weren't many. In terms of the younger generation, only the Seven Blade Emperors and Dream Sway Emperor could compare to Blade River Emperor. Your identity as Blade River Emperor, you have to keep a secret. Tru Yan emphasized, the reason I dare say this to you in Primal Chaos City, 1, is because I've shielded the surroundings from detection, and 2, this is the Primal Chaos City leader's territory. I understand. Luo Feng nodded. Then you can go attempt the Primal Sky Mountain. Tru Yan laughed oddly. Over the past few thousand years, I've often heard people discussing you. You've never had any accomplishments, causing many warriors to be angry with you. You have no strength, and yet you're in such a high position. You can't be blamed for being scolded in secret. When you're done with the Primal Sky Mountain, come drink with me. Tru Yan hugged the purple fire ape wine. Yes, your disciple will go attempt the Primal Sky Mountain now. Luo Feng sat opposite Tru Yan and closed his eyes, his consciousness connecting to the virtual universe. This punk, he's really direct. Tru Yan blinked. Virtual universe, Tong Tian Mountain space. The three majestic sky mountains were each taller than the other. When Luo Feng appeared in midair, he immediately flew towards the tallest and most majestic primal level sky mountain. He was a primal region member. Naturally, he could directly attempt the primal level sky mountain. At the foot of the majestic Tong Tian Mountain, there were three silhouettes sitting cross-legged, almost as though they were playing some unknown game. White-skinned ape, someone is here. Yes, someone is here. Wu, quickly get up. These three silhouettes seemed a little rusty in their movements. They all stood up. The most tall and sturdy bull man looked at Luo Feng and smiled. So it's Your Majesty Luo Feng, Your Majesty Luo Feng. Even though you're the direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader, you're too confident coming to attempt the Primal Sky Mountain now? That's a sector lord level. Bull, what are you saying? This is Your Majesty Luo Feng. What can't he do? The ape-man looked at Luo Feng too. Your Majesty Luo Feng, are you going to begin? The snake lady too looked at Luo Feng, her gaze like water. Luo Feng smiled. Seeing the three of you, it feels so familiar. Familiar? The bullman, ape man, and snake lady were shocked. I'm about to begin. Luo Feng smiled. A shield suddenly appeared in his hand. It was the beast god weapon. Battling in a virtual universe, things like the pagoda, orb, killing Wu wings, star path diagrams were naturally gone. Things like general spirits and armor that greatly raised one's strength were also gone. What Luo Feng had was still a Sector Lord body, similar to all the other Sector Lord geniuses in the virtual universe. The only difference was his willpower and consciousness. Of course, the beast god weapon, Luo Feng could still choose. It was just that the beast god weapon in his hand, the materials weren't as good as the one in the virtual universe. However, it was enough for a Sector Lord to use. Come. The bullman waved his axe. Let's see how strong you are. The ape man's eyes gleamed. Your Majesty Luo Feng, I will take care of you. The snake lady's formless soul attack had already begun to emanate. How? A beast god silhouette appeared in midair. The huge beast god roared and rushed over, tearing apart the bullman, smashing the ape man and sweeping the snake lady to death with its tail. The battle ended instantly. The foot of the mountain was considered past. The foot of the mountain is really easy. Luo Feng immediately headed upwards. He forgot. When he had just become a Sector Lord, he probably couldn't even pass the foot of the mountain. It was just that over 7,000 years in the alien battlefield, Luo Feng's improvement was extremely huge. The middle of the mountain was still incomparably easy. The peak of the mountain, even though he met with some trouble, Luo Feng's willpower and consciousness was extremely strong. The moment he got serious and unleashed the strongest whip, according to the beast god's conception, he immediately succeeded. Congratulations, Your Majesty Luo Feng. You've passed the Sector Lord Primal Sky Mountain. Our human race, everyone that can pass the Sector Lord level Primal Sky Mountain, are all absolute geniuses that only appear once every 10 million eras. Only those that pass the Sector Lord level Primal Sky Mountain can be considered the pinnacle of geniuses in human history. The three guardians at the peak revived again. They were all incomparably overjoyed and respectful as they congratulated Luo Feng. Luo Feng stood at the peak of the Primal Sky Mountain, gazing down at the vast land, also looking at the distant two shorter sky mountains. As Luo Feng stood at the peak, his thoughts flying, the upper echelon of the human race had already received news of him passing the Sector Lord level Primal Sky Mountain. This news was like a hurricane, swiftly spreading. P.S. First chapter has arrived. To be continued. If you like this work, please come Chidian. Come to vote for me. Your support is my greatest motivation. Chapter 926. Standing at the peak of the Primal Sky Mountain, the mountain winds howled. Luo Feng stood there for a while. I finally reached the pinnacle. Luo Feng gazed at the entire sky mountain space, thinking, Sector Lord level Primal Sky Mountain is a benchmark for countless geniuses in human history. Conquering it, only then can one be considered one of the strongest geniuses in history. Right now, I'm already standing at the pinnacle of the strongest geniuses. However, a genius is just a genius, not a true warrior. There will be a day I too want to stand at the pinnacle of the universe. Pride filled his heart. Luo Feng made a vow within. Back on Earth when he was still very young, stepping on the path of a fighter, even though it was for his family, he also had his dreams. This path of the strong. He too had endless dreams and passion. On any path, if one didn't have dreams and passion, it was almost impossible to achieve anything big. Shua! Luo Feng vanished from the peak of the Primal Sky Mountain. Heavenly bridge space in the center of that beautiful island. Defender Bevan had been here for 1 trillion years, silently guarding it. Shua! Luo Feng appeared on the island. The distant defender Bevan immediately smiled. Your Majesty Luo Feng, it's been a long time since I've seen you. Haha, it's been a long time. I haven't seen you. I've missed you, hence I've come. Luo Feng smiled and teased. Defender Bevan said with interest, Your Majesty Luo Feng seems very confident. Which level do you wish to challenge this time? Whichever level I can reach, it's best if I can battle with the defender of the 21st level. Luo Feng said. Battle on the 21st level? Defender Bevan was stunned. You have to at least pass the 20th level to qualify for that. Don't tell me. Luo Feng smiled. There's no one on the 9-universe heavenly bridge, right? No, Defender Bevan said. Very good. Luo Feng smiled. So, he immediately flew towards the 9-universe heavenly bridge. Defender Bevan watched as Luo Feng left. He couldn't help but mutter. He's too confident. He's only trained for so many years, yet he seems confident in passing the 20th level. There's mail? There's more than one. Defender Bevan looked at the mail. With one look he was shocked. What? He passed the sector Lord level Primal Sky Mountain. The Defender Bevan widened his eyes and turned to look in the direction of a 9-universe heavenly bridge. Looks like he really can fight against the 21st level's defender. This news would always be first known by the upper echelons of the Virtual Universe Company. Primal Universe, Primal Chaos City. Within the Primal Chaos ruins, the Primal Chaos City leader, who sat crossed-legged, exclaimed, Luo Feng's improvement speed is indeed huge. He can actually pass the sector Lord level Primal Sky Mountain. One couldn't blame the Primal Chaos City leader for exclaiming, even though Luo Feng said before that he had the ability to reach the 20th level of the Heavenly Bridge in terms of origin laws. However, the 20 levels of the Heavenly Bridge was just one of the requirements to pass the sector Lord level Primordial Heavenly Mountain. It didn't mean that one would definitely pass, because during a battle, it also depended on the combination of secret combat techniques, body enhancement techniques, telekinesis enhancement techniques, willpower enhancement techniques, and many other aspects. Now that he's done it, I'm afraid those few won't argue anymore. All of them are saying that Rongjun's future is boundless, and they think that my personal disciple is inferior to Rongjun. This time, I'm afraid they won't have anything to say. The Primal Chaos City leader smiled and nodded. Outside of Blood River Continent, the highest level of Tianshi Palace that had been watching over Blood River Continent for trillions of years. Standing there was a silhouette that seemed like it was a silhouette. This person had an extremely high position within the Virtual Universe Company and was respected by countless warriors. At this time, the Tianshi Palace leader was laughing loudly. His laughter resounded throughout the entire palace, causing the sector lords and undyings in the first and second level to be shocked, not understanding why he was so happy. Well done. The Tianshi Palace leader looked into the endless space and smiled. The Battle Axe Coliseum and the Universe First Bank, those punks, they all think highly of Rongjun. Back then, I already said I thought highly of him. That Luo Feng was accepted as a personal disciple by the Primal Chaos City leader, yet they still didn't admit defeat. They even said taking him as a disciple was just a change in status. It didn't mean he was strong. Back then, when Luo Feng passed the domain Lord level Primal Sky Mountain, they still didn't care. They thought the domain Lord level Primal Sky Mountain wasn't much. Now they finally admitted defeat. Sector Lord level Primal Sky Mountain. This represents the strongest genius. This represents the comprehension of the origin laws. He's only one step away from becoming a knight. Even though that Rongjun is improving by leaps and bounds, compared to Luo Feng's improvement speed, he's much slower. The Tianshi Palace leader was extremely happy. Back then, the upper echelons of humanity, the Virtual Universe Company, Battle Axe Coliseum, Universe First Bank, etc., the pinnacle existences had discussed Luo Feng and Rongjun before. How powerful were their eyes? Even though Bolin's talent seemed to exceed Luo Feng and Rongjun, his flaw in his character meant that it would be hard for him to achieve much, unless his flaw was fixed. And Rongjun and Luo Feng were different. Luo Feng was terrifying to the point that he could see his heart clearly. His willpower was incomparably firm. Such a genius. Even if his improvement wasn't fast, he would continue to improve and eventually become an absolute warrior. As for Rongjun, he was even more special. The pinnacle existences of humanity had fought over this, even placing bets. Those who participated in this bet were either universe overlords like the Tianshi Palace Master, or the higher-level universe lords. Naturally, the stakes were frightening. Back then, when Luo Feng returned from Blood River World and passed by Tianshi Palace, the leader couldn't help but give him some pointers. As the Primal Chaos City leader and Tianshi Palace leader were celebrating, the other absolute beings of humanity were all exclaiming. He actually lost the bet. Rongjun actually couldn't beat a genius that popped out of nowhere. This Rongjun really disappoints me. It's not his fault. It's just that this Luo Feng's improvement is too swift and violent. I knew he would have great accomplishments in the future, but I didn't expect him to improve so quickly. If he endured for another 100,000 to 1,000,000 years, Rongjun would undoubtedly become an Emperor Pinnacle. He even has a chance of becoming a Universe Knight. Many existences exclaimed, and the news of Luo Feng passing the sector Lord Primal Sky Mountain swiftly spread, causing countless warriors to exclaim in shock. Even those who were secretly angry were now completely convinced. How could they not be convinced? He had already conquered the pinnacle of humanity's strongest genius, sector Lord Primal Sky Mountain. Every genius like this, after stepping into the undying level, they would be at the limit of an emperor or even invincible. Their chances of becoming a Universe Knight would be extremely high. Virtual Universe, Yuxiang Mountain, within a private room in one of the restaurants. Dressed in a snow-white armor, Bolin and the tall and sturdy Rongjun walked shoulder to shoulder into the room. Other than the waiter, there was only one other person. Wooka. Hi, you've come, sit. Wooka laughed. Rongjun and Bolin sat. You can leave first. Wooka ordered the waiter. Yes, the waiter said respectfully, after which he left and closed the door. Only Wooka, Rongjun, and Bolin were left in the room. You all know, right? Wooka was pouring wine for them. HM, Bolin nodded. I thought the distance would close, but I didn't expect it to grow. Rongjun's voice was deep and heavy. Nearly 10,000 years had caused Rongjun's inner temperament to sublimate. That domineering aura completely came from his bones. This so-called domineering aura was a kind of spirit of supremacy, but it was not annoying. Wooka exclaimed, back then we were the absolute beginning brothers, you, me, and Luo Feng. Luo Feng was the first to enter the primal region, and you too, improving faster and faster. Back then, amongst the domain Lord-level primal region members, you were actually ranked number 1. Using that to become a sector lord, also becoming a primal region sector lord. Bolin and Rongjun were both primal region sector lords. After Bolin reflected deeply, he gradually changed. He began to truly reveal his abilities as a genius of 10,000 eras, improving by leaps and bounds. And now, he had already become a sector lord. As for Rongjun, at the start, his improvement speed wasn't fast, and it wasn't obvious. However, as time went by, it got faster and faster. Eventually, he even improved faster than Bolin, and his improvement was still soaring. It was so fast that it made people stare dumbstruck. Back then, Luo Feng had already become the direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader, only he didn't have any achievements. Back then, people said, the most outstanding in Luo Feng's genius battle was Rongjun. Even though they were both primal region sector lords, if the sector lords had a qualification battle, this new primal region Lord Bolin would probably be eliminated to the absolute beginning region. However, even if Rongjun were to go through the qualification battle now, he would definitely have the right to remain in the primal region. It's too fast, his improvement is too fast. Rongjun shook his head and exclaimed, these 8,000 years, I thought the origin law comprehension would get harder and harder. Since Luo Feng's starting point was high, his improvement would definitely be small. However, I didn't expect. To surpass him, there's only one way. Bolin's cold voice resounded. Wooka and Rongjun immediately looked at Bolin. Bolin said coldly, become a Universe Knight. Otherwise, we'll always be suppressed by him. If we don't become a Universe Knight, we won't be able to surpass him. Rongjun nodded. Let's work hard together. Wooka smiled and raised his glass. My goal is to become an undying emperor. Your goal is to become a Universe Knight. Let's work hard together. Work hard. Work hard. Rongjun and Bolin raised their glasses. The three clinked glasses. Just as the three were discussing, suddenly another message arrived. HM. The three looked at their own messages. He passed the 20th level of the heavenly bridge. Wuka, Bolin, and Rongjun looked at each other and exclaimed. It was true. Luo Feng passing the Primal Sky Mountain meant he had the ability to pass the 20th level. However, when they received the actual news, it still made them exclaim within, because there was only one step left from the 20th level to the 21st. Once he took this step, he would be a universe knight. The heavenly bridge, in the endless darkness, there's only a single winding bridge that extended into the darkness. Luo Feng was flying above the bridge. He had just passed the 20th level and was now heading toward the end of the 21st level. The protector of the 21st level represents a universe knight's origin law comprehension. I want to see a sector lord level world energy, a universe knight's origin law comprehension. What kind of battle strength is that? Luo Feng's eyes were filled with fighting spirit. Chapter 9:27. In the endless darkness, there was only silence. The bridge continued to extend into the darkness. Luo Feng's heart was like a frozen volcano. Even though he was extremely calm, beneath the ice was boiling magma. The 21st level guardian. The complete space laws. Luo Feng thought. Peak stage kink-conferred formidable martial artists. Limited stage kink-conferred formidable martial artists. And invincible kink-conferred formidable martial artists were all only at the 20th level. Their talents and comprehension abilities might differ greatly, and their resources and treasures might differ even more. However, none of them could take the final step. Why? Because the final step was too difficult. True Yin, with his many methods, could match a normal universe knight. However, he couldn't even take the final step. One step was truly reaching the heavens. No matter how strong an emperor was, he could only be considered a strong warrior in the universe. The universe knights were the absolute beings that dominated the universe. And Tian, Shur, palace leader, and Hiroto were the overlords of the universe. As for the primal chaos city leader and the others, they were already the pinnacle of beings in the universe. The 20th and 21st level seemed like a step apart. However, this step was no less than the 1st to 20th level combined. Luo Feng's speed decreased. Ahead was the end of the bridge. There was a 2m diameter sphere there. The space around the sphere was completely warped and shattered. Large amounts of space shards revolved around it. Every 3 levels of the heavenly bridge have a different environment. The 19th to 21st levels are all black hole environments. I've been flying around the black hole before. Now I've finally seen one. Luo Feng looked at the 2m tall sphere. As it was just a background environment, he couldn't feel any of the black hole's gravity. Hence, he wouldn't be robbed of any light. A true black hole couldn't be seen with the naked eye. In Earth's era, there were still disputes over the definition of a black hole. However, in the universe, it was already clear. It was an extremely dense celestial body that had been compressed to the extreme. It was even denser than a neutron star. It was formed from a superstar in the universe. It would swallow ships, planets, meteorites, stars, and other celestial bodies that got close to it. That way, it would constantly strengthen itself. Black holes were divided into strong and weak ones. The stronger the black hole, the larger the area it affected. Even a low-level black hole required at least a universe knight's strength to stand in the center. If it was an extremely strong black hole, even the universe knights would have to avoid it. Choose your opponent. Warrior, controller, illusionist. Choose one and defeat them to pass the 21st level and become a universe paragon. A low voice rang out from the black hole. Controller. Luo Feng held the beast god weapon and said directly, Who? In the air above the black hole floated a large amount of black dots, congealing into a human silhouette. It was a black-armored, black-masked human. The human carried a huge sword on his back. It looked like a huge sword, but in truth it was actually formed from numerous fragments. It was obviously a combination-type spirit weapon. Your Majesty Luo Feng, to be able to meet a Sector Lord Challenger is my honor. The Guardian stood above the black hole and floated. To be able to battle with the 21st level Guardian is my honor. Luo Feng smiled. I have to say, if you don't comprehend the entire law of space, you won't be able to pass this trial. The gatekeeper appeared very elegant. However, I will let your highness feel the power of the complete space laws. Your highness should know that after passing through the first few levels, your highness should know that because your highness is using a beast god weapon, I am unable to use a beast god weapon. I understand. Luo Feng nodded. In theory, after choosing a controller, one should use the same spirit weapon as himself. Back then, the Nanshan armament was still considered a space law weapon, just that it was mixed with the gold laws. It was considered a mix of laws, however the laws didn't fuse with each other at all. However, the beast god weapon was a weapon that was fused with the laws. Fusing with the laws wasn't the space laws nor the gold laws. It was a fusion law of a higher level than the laws of space and metal. Your Majesty, please make your move. If I were to make my move, you wouldn't have a chance. The gatekeeper smiled, courteous. Then receive one of my moves. Luo Feng didn't bluff. Rumble. The beast god weapon in his hand immediately shot out pieces of shards. The origin law engravings on the shards shot out tens of thousands of threads that swiftly linked together. Luo Feng stared at his opponent. His powerful willpower and consciousness guided the world energy to move the shards, following which a 100 long beast god appeared. Howl! The beast god became a beam of light, roaring and rushing straight at the gatekeeper. The space around it warped and tore. Seal! The gatekeeper pointed at the roaring beast god. A strong, formless, binding energy immediately descended. The beast god that was charging towards the Guardian froze in midair. Even Luo Feng, who was standing in the distance, was completely sealed. The sealing energy was so strong that even the beast god was easily suppressed. Luo Feng, who was being suppressed, had a look of shock and disbelief on his face. A complete space law, its power surpasses your imagination. The gatekeeper was very elegant. Your Majesty, you should be proud of passing this level. However, the complete space law isn't something you can do. What? The gatekeeper looked shocked at Luo Feng. At this time, Luo Feng's eyes were filled with madness. The veins on his face were bulging and twisted, just like back then when he received the life and death inheritance. He was in his most extreme state. Before, including the primal sky mountain, Luo Feng had only used his spirit energy amplification. His powerful willpower had never been pushed to its limits. At this time, it exploded. His willpower and consciousness soared to its limits, just like the extreme state of the life and death inheritance. One thread whip. Break! Luo Feng roared hoarsely, willpower as the leader, consciousness as the general, commanding the world energy, simultaneously following the beast god mentality he had trained over the years to control the beast god. At this time, the beast god silhouette seemed even more like the true beast god. The beast god roared soundlessly, its tail using all its strength to whip. Kakaka, space trembled. Even though the beast god's tail moved slowly but firmly, with a rumbling sound, the space that was originally completely sealed was forcefully broken. Kill! The previously elegant Guardian's eyes gleamed with sharpness. He no longer had any elegance. The huge blade on his back became countless gold lights flying out, forming a huge blade in midair. This blade sliced straight at Luo Feng. Wherever it passed, a huge ravine was formed. Luo Feng controlled the beast god to block. Chi. Even though it was slow, the blade still slashed through the beast god, causing it to crumble, following which its speed rose again, leaving Luo Feng with no time to escape. With one slash, it sliced through Luo Feng's life core. Luo Feng died. Failure. Seeing Luo Feng vanish, the gatekeeper's gaze retracted, saying softly, "What terrifying willpower! It's actually this strong, forcing me to unleash my killer move." Even the past Universe Knights who successfully passed the 21st level, when they became Universe Knights, very few of them had such strong willpower, and he's just a Sector Lord. In the center of the Heavenly Bridge Island, the defender, Bevan, floated a screen. On it was Luo Feng's battle with the 21st level defender. He was originally smiling and waiting to see Luo Feng make a fool of himself. Seeing an absolute genius make a fool of himself was rather interesting. However, very quickly, his expression changed. The seal was actually broken, forcing the defender to unleash his killer move. The defender Bevan's mouth was wide open, stunned for a while. All the guardians of the law of space might use different weapons, but they all had the same 3 moves: seal, kill, and teleport. They were the evolved moves of seal, strangle, and teleport, respectively. They were much more powerful, and kill was the most offensive of the 3. And the seal was usually used against the weak, directly capturing and sealing. Only against a difficult opponent would it be forced to use the killer move. Against a similar level opponent, only then would one be forced to use instant, kill, and seal together. Primal Chaos City, Tru Yan's residence. Within the courtyard, Tru Yan sat there quietly. Opposite him, Luo Feng, who had his eyes closed, finally opened them. Haha, Luo Feng. Congratulations on passing the Primal Heavenly Bridge, passing the 20th level. Tru Yan hugged the bottle of purple fire ape wine. I thought you would stop after passing the Primal Heavenly Bridge. I didn't expect you to pass the Heavenly Bridge and test the strength of the 21st level defender. Very strong. This seal move is ridiculously strong. Luo Feng nodded seriously. Just that seal? If his willpower was weaker, or if he didn't have 32 times his spirit energy amplitude, he wouldn't have been able to break through it. From this, he could deduce that the 21st level was 100 to 1,000 times harder than the 20th. Of course it's strong. Tru Yan smiled. Us space law cultivators split it into teleportation, kill, and seal, these 3 big categories. It's because training as a whole is very hard, hence we split them up and train them slowly. However, after all, these 3 are separated by the complete space laws. The moment they combine, it's complete. Their power will change drastically, using the complete space laws to unleash the seal. That's a true seal. Universe Knights can easily seal those undyings. Anyway, just comprehending one category compared to grasping the complete space laws, the difference is 100 to 1,000 times. Just like a god body, us human emperor undyings, with our comprehension of the laws, can only form a stable and powerful god body 100,000 times Sector Lord strength. However, the moment one becomes a Universe Knight, with the complete space laws, the god body they can form will far exceed our god bodies. Just the god body alone is already a huge difference, much less law comprehension, soul amplification, genetic life evolution, body amplification, treasures, techniques. Naturally, they'll be stronger than us emperors. The difference will be huge. Of course, there are some special people like the 7 Sword Kings. Your teacher, sometimes have treasures that surpass ordinary universe paragons. I have created stronger secret arts. And in addition to special opportunities, that's why your teacher, has the qualifications to be considered invincible, able to escape from a universe paragon. However, I can only escape with my life. Luo Feng nodded as he listened. 20 levels of origin law comprehension was still fragmented. The complete space laws were much stronger. Don't worry about these things. In a short 10,000 years, you've created a name that rivals the 7 Blade Emperors. Close to me, you're powerful enough. Go out and listen. Right now, everyone in Primal Chaos City is talking about you. Tru Yan smiled. Right now, don't worry about what they're talking about you. Accompany me to drink. This is your celebratory wine. No one could drag me away. I'll just accompany you to drink. Let me drink more. Luo Feng said. Tru Yan stared, hugging the purple fire ape wine. 1 cup and you're already drunk. You still want to drink more. Drink slowly. Savor it bit by bit. Understood. Luo Feng smiled. At this time, whatever warrior's ambition, origin law comprehension, creating techniques, everything was thrown to the back of his mind, relaxing and drinking. That was what Luo Feng wanted to do now. Everyone's votes were huge. Tomato's blood was boiling with excitement. On the last day of the month, if the votes weren't cast, they would expire and become invalid. Chapter 928. Luo Feng, who was lying on the bed, opened his eyes and sat up. He shook his head and laughed. The feeling of being drunk is indeed wonderful. Occasionally experiencing it is a rare enjoyment. Following which Luo Feng pushed open the door and left. This was one of the courtyards in True Yin Emperor's residence. As he was drinking with his teacher earlier, he carefully tasted it and got drunk from one cup. The air was filled with energy. The wind blew. Luo Feng looked up at the revolving origin law engravings in the sky. Sober. I've never been so sober before. All my worries seem to have disappeared. Even though I often get drunk and forget about my worries, to a strong warrior, occasionally getting drunk is a form of enjoyment. Luo Feng smiled and walked out of the courtyard. He strolled around True Yin Emperor's residence. Meeting his disciples and direct disciples, he smiled and greeted them. Simultaneously, Luo Feng sent a thread of his consciousness into the virtual universe and began his business. Virtual Universe Yuxiang Mountain, Luo Feng's villa. Before heading to the Ice Hell planet, I have to prepare well. Luo Feng sat in front of his desk and pondered. There were a total of 5 copies of the 9 Levels Manual. Luo Feng had already acquired 2. The other 3 were in 3 different danger zones. According to the instructions, he could attempt to acquire the first copy when he reached Sector Lord level. And this first copy was in a distant and desolate region deep within a universe secret region. Within a secret region called the Ice Hell planet. Just from a simple information Mountain Guest gave Luo Feng made him understand how dangerous this trip to the Ice Hell planet was. It was no wonder, though. This was something Mountain Guest used to test his disciples. Mountain Guest was very clear of the Earth Leader's trump cards. The tests he set would naturally push Luo Feng to the limit. Without sufficient preparation, how could he simply rush in? This trip to the outer region battlefield. Hunting in the Star Tower for a month, 46 battles. A total of 2,860 billion mixed elements worth of treasures. Also, there's the Decomposition Pagoda, the Muddy Ice Net, and the Purple Clock. Luo Feng thought. Of the 3 treasures, the Decomposition Pagoda was one of the lower ones. The other 2 were extremely expensive. They were at least worth more than 2,860 billion mixed elements. Money was very important to the Emperor-level Undyings. However, to the Universe Knights, it was more about exchanging for other items. The treasures that could be bought with money were rarely useful to them. What they needed were mostly rare treasures in the universe. I can't sell these 3 treasures. Even if I wanted to buy them, it would be difficult. Treasures worth 2,860 billion mixed element units, more than 300 billion points for military merits, and 100 billion points from the primitive Heavenspan Mountain. How do I use it? Luo Feng pondered. Without a doubt, the first was to strengthen his own strength, the second was to leave some trump cards for his family, and the third was to improve his team of experts. He had a total of 13 experts under him. They were either peak stage or peak stage Regis Godfiends. Each of them had many aspects that they needed to improve. For example, giving each of them a peak stage king rank plant life form. Clearly, Luo Feng couldn't afford it. Although 200 billion mixed elements seemed like a lot, he couldn't afford a single true treasure. Just as Luo Feng was thinking, Babata shouted from his shoulder, "Luo Feng, there's mail. It's from the Primal Chaos City Leader." Primal Chaos City Leader teacher? Luo Feng was shocked, tapping in mid-air. A screen appeared. On it was the title of the mail. Luo Feng tapped again and opened the contents. The description was rather long. The main meaning was, the secret of you being the Blade River Emperor cannot be revealed. Back then, even though the 108 managers of the Great Alliance City invited you to join the Alliance, none of them had the right to see your footage. Hence, no one knew you were the Blade River Emperor. Even though you used the identity of the Blade River Emperor to enter the Alliance, that doesn't mean you are the Blade River Emperor. Because there was a rule in the Alliance. Any Emperor would be directly invited to join. There was no need to go through the managers to discuss. Only those special ones that needed to be discussed would have to go through the discussion. Even the 108 managers would probably think that the Blade River Emperor was an undying emperor and was invited to join. The identities of the members of the Alliance were a secret. The 108 managers didn't even have access to the details of their identities. Especially the records of the true identities of the human warriors were even more secretive. In the Alliance, the other leaders of the other races didn't even have access to the most secretive information. Only the human leaders could see it. This time, you've passed the sector Lord Primal Heavenspan Mountain. You can immediately enter the Alliance. I'll arrange a special region for you in the Alliance. Every time you enter the Alliance, you'll have a choice. You can become the Blade River Emperor and appear in the previous small district, or you can appear as Luo Feng in a new small district. The information regarding you, Luo Feng, is extremely high, and there are many arrangements. As long as you don't make any mistakes, the Alliance will definitely not make any mistakes. Remember, you can't reveal that you are the Blade River Emperor for now. The contents of the mail were actually rather long, and the warning was very strong. Obviously, Luo Feng's accomplishments as the Blade River Emperor had shocked the Primal Chaos City leader. To be able to do that as a sector lord, the moment it was revealed to the other races, saying that he didn't have any special encounters, even the Primal Chaos City leader wouldn't believe it. Since he was destined to become one of the strongest humans, the other races would definitely be willing to pay a huge price to assassinate him. That would be troublesome. I'll have two identities from now on, one Blade River Emperor and the other Luo Feng. Luo Feng smiled as he looked at the mail. You should be proud. The Primal Chaos City leader has personally arranged for you to have two identities in the Alliance. The fist-sized Babata on his shoulder shouted, After all, your identity as the Blade River Emperor is a little scary. Your true battle strength has already surpassed many of the Emperor-level warriors. You're already close to the 7 Blade Emperors and Life Destruction Emperors back when I followed the old master to roam the universe. I had to look up to you, not daring to offend you. Luo Feng was shocked. Hu Yinbo. Luo Feng couldn't help but remember that Hu Yinbo was killed by an expert who barely managed to become a titled emperor. Luo Feng always remembered that he would take revenge for Hu Yinbo in the future to repay Hu Yinbo for his inheritance. After all, if it wasn't for Hu Yinbo's earlier help, he might have become an absolute warrior in the universe. It would have been a different path. Babata, back then who killed the Yun Mo Planet Master. Luo Feng asked, Back then you weren't willing to say, but now you can tell me right. Luo Feng, you want to avenge the old master? Babata was obviously excited. Ichim, Luo Feng nodded. After I've bought many treasures and prepared in Primal Chaos City, I'll make a trip back to my family and settle things there before heading to Isel Planet. During this time, I'll go and get rid of teacher Hu Yinbo's enemy. Haha, if you go now, it'll definitely be easy. Babata said, back then, the killer was a low-level emperor expert that specialized in the soul. His name was Salop. His title was Demon Hand Emperor. As for his current strength, I'm not too sure. It's only been a few tens of thousands of years. His strength shouldn't have improved much. Demon Hand Emperor Salop? Luo Feng muttered. He had never heard of this person before. Let's do things one by one. I'll first make a trip to Hongmeng City and settle the treasures. Then I'll come back to study this Demon Hand Emperor. Even though Luo Feng didn't care about a low-level emperor, he still had to seriously investigate this person's information, in case he stumbled and let the opponent escape. Virtual Universe, Hongmeng Plain, Hongmeng City. Outside Hongmeng City, there were many large districts. Every district had a fixed number of 10,000 residents. Even though it was absolutely fair in name, as long as there was power, there was no such thing as absolute fairness. A certain district had True Yin, Sky Feather Emperor, 7 Sword Emperors, etc. The value of this district immediately multiplied. After all, to be able to get to know these powerful beings in close proximity, it was naturally easier to form relationships. This is my new district. Luo Feng walked out of the 2-story building and looked outside. Luo Feng. How do you do? Your Majesty Luo Feng. 2 greetings resounded from afar. Luo Feng turned to look, seeing a human and a different race walking side by side. That human had the same short hair, a head full of short blue hair. His eyes were also blue. He was dressed in a normal battle robe. His face had blue engravings that made people feel a sense of closeness when he smiled. "You are Dream Sway Emperor?" Luo Feng was shocked. He had looked up information on all the powerful beings of the human race. Even though there wasn't much information on the internet, there were still pictures and videos. "Your teacher True Yin used to live in this district too. He has now entered the inner city." Dream Sway smiled. "Your Majesty Luo Feng. This is one of the top 3 districts in Great Alliance City. Many of humanity's strongest emperors are here." The different race besides said. Dream Sway introduced. "This is the Tuoba clan's Nanshur Emperor, the most outstanding emperor of the Tuoba clan's younger generation." That honest-looking Nanshur Emperor said, "You're too humble, praising me in front of your Majesty Luo Feng. I would be ashamed." Luo Feng carefully looked at this Nanshur Emperor. He had heard of him before. Nanshur Emperor and Dream Sway Emperor. Even though they weren't from the same race, their relationship was extremely good. They were like life and death brothers. They often moved together. Dream Sway Emperor was honest. He rarely used his power to suppress others. It wasn't easy to anger Dream Sway Emperor. As for Nanshur King, he was the complete opposite. Although he seemed simple and honest, the truth was that his savagery far surpassed any of the Life Destruction Kings or Profound Tomb Kings that Luo Feng knew of by over 100 times. Nanshur King's reputation was built purely from slaughter. Such a bloodthirsty madman, yet he's actually so honest, Luo Feng thought. Indeed, you can't judge from appearances. Dream Sway Emperor and Nanshur Emperor. One is friendly, one is savage, yet they can become life and death friends. How interesting. This district looks like there are many strong warriors, Luo Feng thought. Luo Feng strolled around the district. It was indeed so. The quality of the strong in this district exceeded that of the Blade River Emperors. There were a total of over 8,000 strong warriors. Just the emperors alone numbered close to 1,000. There were even more terrifying existences like Dream Sway Emperor and Nanshur Emperor. Right now, Luo Feng's name was extremely famous. To be able to pass the Sector Lord Primal Sky Mountain, every one of them was destined to be a terrifying existence. Even Dream Sway Emperor and Nanshur Emperor were so polite, not to mention the other emperors. Luo Feng strolled around, getting familiar, letting others know he was from this district, after which Luo Feng returned to his villa on Yuxiang Mountain, thinking about how to deal with his spoils of war. Chapter 929. After staying in Primal Chaos City for over a month, he kept a small portion of his spoils of war. Like some treasures that could speed up the recovery of the divine body, many of the warriors Luo Feng killed had such treasures. Luo Feng naturally kept them, along with the 3 top-grade ships. The rest were all disposed of, after which Luo Feng spent lavishly for his team, family, and himself, spending until he was only left with over 100 billion mixed elements. Only then did Luo Feng happily leave Primal Chaos City. Solar system. There was a majestic shrine erected in space protecting Earth, and this shrine was far larger than Earth's size. First level of the shrine. There were fixed teleportation paths that connected to the Virtual Universe Company's headquarters, also connecting to the Battle Axe Dojo, Universe First Bank, Universe Galaxy Bank, and the Universe Mercenary Alliance headquarters. Hua! One of the teleportation paths glowed. Someone's here. Someone from the Virtual Universe Company has arrived. The dozens of sector lords who were specially guarding the teleportation channel were all very respectful. Those who could pass through this channel were either extremely powerful or had extremely high statuses. The dozens of sector lords were also watching curiously, only to see a black-armored youth walking out alone. It's His Majesty Luo Feng. The 10 sector lords immediately recognized him. The shrine was guarding Earth. Half of the authority was in Luo Feng's hands. How could they not recognize him? Your Majesty. The 10 sector lords all bowed respectfully. HM. Luo Feng nodded, looking at the sector lords. guarding the solar system for 10,000 years. Is there anything special? No, everything is normal. The leader of the sector lords replied respectfully. Luo Feng nodded, immediately activating his teleportation and vanishing. Teleportation. Wah. A sector lord can teleport. His Majesty Luo Feng is simply too powerful. Don't tell me you don't know that His Majesty Luo Feng just passed the sector lord level primal sky mountain. I heard that the reward for passing it is 100 billion points. 100 billion? I haven't even saved up 100 mixed elements yet. The group of sector lords couldn't help but be shocked. Even though these sector lords from the 5 great powers were much better off than the solo sector lords, their wealth was still pitifully low. Even an absolute warrior like Luo Feng had already spent over 200 billion mixed elements. Normal sector lords to Luo Feng's level were just normal people that could be casually killed. In outer space. Who? Luo Feng immediately appeared, turning to look at the majestic shrine in the solar system, sighing. Then it charged directly into the atmosphere. This is Earth, this is Earth. Intruder, please identify yourself. From the atmosphere, a small ship suddenly shot out as fast as lightning. That ship even emitted a sound wave that entered Luo Feng's ears. It was speaking in universe language. What happened? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows, following which his world energy swiftly spread and enveloped the entire Earth. Within the atmosphere of the entire Earth hid many small scouting ships, and above the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, there were many luxurious floating cities. Within these floating cities lived other human races, like the winged people, the ape people, etc. He's changed. Luo Feng sighed. Why become an overlord? I'll definitely take back Earth. Luo Feng thought. Even if I have to pay a price, it'll be worth it. Please identify yourself. The small spacecraft continued to speak. Luo Feng frowned and looked at the ship, roaring, scram. His voice was like a shockwave, rolling over and crushing the small ship, smashing it into pieces. I know you all can see. Luo Feng stood in the atmosphere and said coldly. However, remember, this is Earth. Half of the original humans have control over this place. I, Luo Feng, come in Earth. It's not up to you all to supervise. Don't let this happen again. So, Luo Feng rushed down. Earth, in a huge floating city in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This floating city had a few 100 million residents. In one of the skyscrapers. This was the headquarters of the alien migration to Earth. Within a secret control room stood 2 middle-aged men and a lady. The 3 of them were looking at the screen in front of them. On the screen was the scene of Luo Feng speaking in the atmosphere. That Luo Feng sure is arrogant. The winged man dressed in green armor laughed coldly. What's up with him? Isn't he just a subordinate of the primal chaos city leader? Doesn't he know that the ones migrating to Earth are mostly elites from the Battle Axe Dojo and the Virtual Universe Company? Many of them have Universe Lord backgrounds. Earth was a special cradle. Every quota of people migrating to Earth was very expensive. To be able to bring pregnant women to Earth, many of them were the elite disciples of the Universe Lord families. On Earth, there were many nobles and nobles. Restrain yourself. Another middle-aged man with 4 arms snorted softly. Luo Feng is, after all, the direct disciple of the primal chaos city leader. He's not someone you can mess with. And he just passed the primal sky mountain. In the future, he might even become a universe knight. Those that came to Earth, even though many of them had huge backgrounds, they were still just backgrounds. It wasn't their own strength. When Luo Feng becomes a universe knight and wants to deal with you, will you even have the strength to fight back? I'm, after all, an emperor-level undying. At least I can casually trample on him now. The green armored man laughed coldly. I'll shut up, the lady ordered. There's a strict order from above to not provoke Luo Feng. Oof. The green armored man looked through the glass at the ocean outside the floating city. Such a beautiful planet, yet it's taken over by a bunch of trash races. Our Battle Axe Dojo isn't decisive enough. Back then, when we secretly killed this Luo Feng, Earth would belong to us. Speak less. The lady ordered, "If you want to die, don't drag me." Another middle-aged man with 4 arms turned and left. Asia continent, Yangzhou City, Luo, family residence. This was a family residence with 10,000 years of history. Its significance was extraordinary. Ever since they received news of Luo Feng's return, the upper echelon and elites of the Luo family swiftly rushed back. They wanted to meet the head of the family, Luo Feng. I didn't expect the house I lived in back then to still be fine. Look, I remember the last time I left, the chair was placed like this. Even after so many years, it's still the same. Luo Feng, his wife and 2 sons strolled around the residence. We've been maintaining it for 10,000 years. Of course it's still the same. Su Xin smiled. Luo Ping smiled beside and agreed. Only Luo Hai's expression wasn't too good. Luo Hai. Luo Feng looked at his son. Dad. Luo Hai replied. What's going on? Luo Feng asked. No, it's this trip back to Earth. I've got a stomach full of anger. Luo Hai said angrily. Beside him, Su Xin increased her eyebrows and glanced at Luo Hai. Luo Hai couldn't continue. Speak. Luo Feng said directly. He had already guessed what was going on. It's all because of those aliens. Luo Hai said angrily. This time, I took a ship from outer space to enter Earth. They actually stopped me. I initially cooperated with them. Who would have thought they would first bring me to their floating city? They first locked me up for half a day. Only after that did someone come to receive me. They even said it was a misunderstanding. They're obviously trying to intimidate me. That's already much better. Luo Ping sighed. Second brother, you've always been outside. You don't know much about the family matters. Just like when my dad went missing for over 6,000 years. Especially towards the end, Earth wasn't even our territory. It was purely the territory of the aliens. Those aliens all came to our continent in the name of sightseeing and shopping. They were all extremely arrogant and overbearing. They didn't even put us locals in their eyes. Who among us dared to provoke them? No, we could only swallow our anger. Maybe they had some reservations. Even though they were overbearing, they didn't dare chase us away. Luo Ping sighed. Chase you away? Luo Feng's expression changed. Back when he signed the contract with a virtual universe company, it clearly stated that the aliens in the floating city would definitely not disturb the lives of the Earthlings. However, they seem to be bullying them quite a bit now. Dad, the contract you signed back then, you told me about it too. Luo Ping shook his head. It's no use. The contract is the contract. It only states that we're not allowed to disturb the lives of the Earthlings. However, even though those aliens are overbearing and bully the Earthlings, they still say they're only making friends with the Earthlings and not disturbing their lives. What can you do about it? These kinds of verbal matters are hard to explain. Luo Feng's expression was ugly. This time when he returned to Earth, he was immediately provoked. From this, it could be seen how arrogant these aliens were. They even dared to do that to him, much less to the other Earthlings. Luo Feng. Su Xin said softly. The origins of these aliens aren't normal. They're all connected to the pinnacle super families of the universe. It said that many of them are connected to the Battle Axe Coliseum and the highest levels of the virtual universe company. Humph. Luo Feng's rage surged. Back then, when the creator of the huge axe came to Earth, he could see how special Earth was. The pinnacle beings of humanity, most of them had their own families. Sending the elites of their families here was completely understandable. The arrogance of these elites could be imagined. After all, they all had powerful backgrounds. They obviously believed it too. One Luo Feng. Would he dare offend so many of us? Luo Feng calmed down. Su Xin said seriously. Relax, I won't do anything rash. Luo Feng swiftly thought about how to deal with this situation. Dad, ever since you passed the Primal Sky Mountain, those aliens have been more reserved. Bullying the Earthlings isn't too much. Luo Ping said. What do you mean by not too much? They have no right to bully us. Luo Feng frowned. Even though he was raging within, at that moment, he didn't know how to deal with this situation. Chapter 9:30. Go rest first. Let me think about it. Luo Feng said. Luo Ping and Luo Hai glanced at each other and left obediently, leaving behind their mother Su Xin to accompany Luo Feng. The moment the two brothers left, Luo Ping couldn't help but say, "Second brother, why did you tell Dad about this? He's been through over 6,000 years of life and death struggles, only returning safely now. You actually said all this. Aren't you just making things difficult for him? Don't you know how terrifying the backers of those immigrants are?" I'm just upset." Luo Hai was a little weak. "Upset? How many times have you returned to Earth? You've always been roaming outside. Now that you're a realm lord, and you have all the secret techniques and treasures that Dad prepared for you, you're naturally powerful. Also, for your safety, Mom even let you bring along an undying plant life to protect you. Not mentioning your strength, when you're roaming outside, with your identity, who would dare to provoke you? You're just used to being free and unrestrained. You've never been taken advantage of. But Dad is different from you. Dad is the pillar of our Luo family, the pillar of all of Earth, the heart of the struggle, the jealousy of others. In the universe, he's even more envied by the other races. All of them want to assassinate Dad. Dad is out adventuring, on the edge of life and death. Now that he's home, why don't you let him be at ease? Isn't just being bullied? When we're bullied on Earth, we just have to endure it and it'll pass. As long as Dad gets stronger and stronger, those aliens will naturally be afraid. This time, Dad has passed the Sector Lord Primal Sky Mountain. Those aliens have obviously restrained themselves a lot. As long as we endure until Dad becomes an absolute being in the universe, all these troubles will disappear." Luo Ping looked at his brother. As his family, we shouldn't create trouble for him. "Dad, it's tiring enough." Luo Hai too felt a sense of regret. I just can't stand it. Who can stand it?" Luo Ping shook his head. "The nature of the world is like that. Whoever's fist is bigger is stronger. Those aliens, many of their backers are terrifyingly strong. It said they're all connected to the upper echelons of the Virtual Universe Company and the Battle Axe Dojo. Those are the upper echelons. Why would those rich kids look up to us? They're only wary of Dad." "Yes." Luo Hai nodded. Wait until Dad becomes a super existence. Then those little rascals will all behave themselves." Luo Ping sighed. He did not expect his dad to have any solutions. As the saying goes, it's easy to deal with the king of hell, but difficult to deal with the little demons. Those lofty, great existences had existed for eternity, and their clans had experienced billions of generations. How many descendants of those clans had the chance to see the founder of their clans with their own eyes? The existence of the master of the universe? Even though they hadn't seen him before, the pride in their bones was natural. Just like how the Luo family had Luo Feng, they naturally had a sense of pride outside. They were proud because of Luo Feng. As for those families whose founders were the masters of the universe, it was easy to imagine how arrogant they were. Moreover, on Earth, these children of the rich and powerful were a group of them, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, inside the huge floating city. What is that Luo Feng playing at? The winged green armored man sat on the throne, holding onto the armrest, his eyes gleaming fiercely. "Master, don't be angry." A purple-haired lady dressed in a thin veil, her beautiful body faintly discernible, smiled as she walked over. That Luo Feng is the direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. It's normal for him to be arrogant. However, no matter how arrogant he is, he can't do anything to us. Many of the migrants in our floating city come from the 5 great powers. Many of them are from the families of the universe lords. Even though they're only the younger generation of the families, they're still not people Luo Feng can mess with. Only then did the green armored man reveal a smile. With a wave of his hand, the purple-haired lady flew over and landed in his embrace. Immediately, they were about to have sex in the palace. Suddenly a voice resounded. "Jelly Emperor." The green armored man frowned and looked outside. Putting down the beauty in his embrace, he said unhappily, "Phoenix Emperor, what's the matter?" The 4-armed middle-aged man Phoenix Emperor walked in from outside. Phoenix Emperor stepped into the palace, his voice rumbling. "Jelly Emperor, no matter what, that Luo Feng is still a member of the Virtual Universe Company and also the direct disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader. Don't go overboard. If anything happens, can you handle it? I don't believe he dares mess with me. Jelly Emperor stood up fiercely. Humph. Phoenix Emperor looked coldly at him. Jelly Emperor, wake up. Even though you and I are both descendants of the universe lords, our families have gone through trillions of years of reproduction. Our numbers are in the trillions. Even though we're both undying emperors and are considered the elites of our families, if we were truly elites, we wouldn't have been sent to Earth to protect a bunch of couples and babies. Jelly Emperor paused. Let me ask you, have you seen your family's ancestor, the Void Gold Lord? Phoenix Emperor asked. Jelly Emperor's expression was ugly. I've never seen my family's ancestor either. Phoenix Emperor sighed. To the universe lord, that level of eternal being, his descendants are countless. Were we? Hence it's better to be low profile sometimes. However, even if you want to beat a dog, you have to look at its master. Us immigrants are considered the elites of our families, and we represent the universe lords. No one would dare mess with us. Phoenix Emperor said, however, you can't be too arrogant. To the other Earthlings it's fine, but to this Luo Feng, we have to give him some face. Just the provocation from before, it wasn't worth it. Who doesn't know what Luo Feng looks like? You even purposely made him reveal his identity. That provocation was easily seen through. Stop talking. Jelly Emperor's expression was ugly. Isn't it just Luo Feng? Right now he's just a sector lord. I don't believe he can become that strong. The path of the strong is it's so easy to walk. Every step is filled with danger. The stronger he is, the more those alien races will want to kill him. Not mentioning the dangers, just comprehending the origin laws to become a universe knight is already incredibly difficult. Even the Primal Chaos City leader's direct disciples. There are many who haven't become universe knights. Don't bother me. It's all because you and Luo Feng are both from the Virtual Universe Company. You speak up for him. Oomph. Phoenix Emperor's expression changed when he heard this. He immediately turned and left the palace. Jelly Emperor snorted coldly as he watched this scene. Proud Earthlings. Jelly Emperor looked through the palace and into the endless space, also looking at the distant humans on the continents. Even if you have that Luo Feng behind you, it still won't change your lowly bloodline. When the day Luo Feng falls, I really want to see your looks of despair. When that time comes, there will be plenty of ways to get you out of Earth. Luo Feng, let's see how long you can be happy for. Jelly Emperor was infuriated within. Not being valued in his family, that depression, and Luo Feng's radiance was dazzling. Comparing them, he naturally couldn't bear to see Luo Feng doing well. He wanted to see Luo Feng's tragic state. Virtual universe, in the air above Thunder Island, within the palace filled with energy. Luo Feng respectfully entered the palace. Teacher, Luo Feng bowed respectfully. What's the matter? The Primal Chaos City leader's voice resounded. Your disciple has something to ask, teacher. Luo Feng said respectfully. A silhouette walked out from within the depths of the palace. It was the golden-robed Primal Chaos City leader. You've experienced many dangers in the foreign battlefields and had many troubles, yet you've never asked me for anything. You don't like to ask for help? Speak. What's the matter for you to come find me for? The Primal Chaos City leader indeed valued Luo Feng a lot. Ever since Luo Feng exploded, he could easily kill an Emperor-level warrior, even exchanging blows with Black Razor Emperor. This made the Primal Chaos City leader realize this disciple of his was still hiding something. Otherwise, a sector lord, even if his willpower was heaven-defying, even if he had a general armor, even if his origin law comprehension reached 20 levels, he still wouldn't be able to kill an Emperor-level warrior so easily. It would be even harder for him to exchange blows with Black Razor Emperor. He would only be at a disadvantage. The Primal Chaos City leader wasn't angry at his disciples hiding. Everyone had their own selfish motives. They all had secrets they didn't want to reveal. He could understand that. He also realized that Luo Feng's future accomplishments could be shocking. Hence, he helped Luo Feng clean up his mess, giving him the true identity of Blade River Emperor. It's like this disciple returned to Earth this time, and some things happened. It made me realize the immigrant from other planets and the people of Earth, the conflict is hard to resolve. Luo Feng said respectfully, "Your disciple has no other choice. Hence I've come to beg, teacher." Begging, it was begging. Speaking openly, with the primal chaos city leader status, he wouldn't get angry. If he beat around the bush, the effect wouldn't be good. Such a small matter, right? Those immigrants are mostly from the large families. You can't afford to offend them. Like this, my next order will be. The primal chaos city leader nodded. "I know you care about your home and family. I'll help you settle these worries. Don't worry about other things, becoming strong. That's what you need to do." "Yes, teacher, your disciple will definitely do his best." Luo Feng was overjoyed within. His teacher's reply was too direct. "Go." The primal chaos city leader nodded. Luo Feng bowed respectfully and left. The primal chaos city leader watched as his disciple left. He had a smile on his face. This disciple didn't even beg his teacher. Now, he finally came to beg. It was actually for such a small matter. Caring about his home and family, this kind of mentality, as long as our human race treats him well, he'll naturally be dead set on fighting for our human race. The primal chaos city leader nodded. There were some ingrates amongst the absolute warriors. The moment their wings won, they would still only care about themselves and ignore the danger to their race. Just like in history, the Flame God race's Flame Emperor was originally a human race. Eventually, he brought the entire race to leave the human race and become an overlord. This also made the pinnacle beings of the human race furious. However, that Flame Emperor's strength was indeed terrifying, too. Behind him was an even more terrifying foreign race being, hence the human race could only endure. Half a day later, an order was passed down to the shrine protecting Earth. It was also passed down to the management of the immigrants and the people of Earth. The order was simple. From the moment the order was passed down, the immigrants were forbidden from entering the land and its airspace. The people of Earth were forbidden from entering the ocean and its airspace. Anyone who disobeyed would die. What? The green armored man, Jelly Emperor, who was fooling around with the beauties, immediately roared when he received the order. P.S. 3 chapters completed. The stellar transformation game Underwater World has begun. I strongly recommend everyone to check it out. Of course, Tomato could only play a little, because he had 4 chapters tomorrow. Even though 4 chapters was tiring, Tomato was filled with energy, because his brother's monthly votes were simply too awesome. September passed, October began, a new month, a guaranteed monthly vote to Tomato. Tomorrow Tomato will have 4 chapters. Chapter 9, 31. Who gave this order? Jelly Emperor was anxious and furious. I will definitely report this to the upper echelon of the Battle Axe Coliseum. Definitely. This order seemed to treat both sides equally. However, in truth, it was to protect the natives of Earth against the immigrants. As the alien immigrants had immense power on Earth, their backgrounds were huge too. They often went to the cities on the continent to roam. Even if they bullied the Earthlings, who would dare resist? And the strong amongst the immigrants were like the clouds. Domain Lord Guards and Sector Lord Guards were common. And how weak were the natives of Earth? On the contrary, the natives of Earth didn't even dare to step into the ocean. They didn't dare invade the immigrants' territory. Otherwise, the surveillance ships of the aliens would swiftly appear and capture the Earthlings. Overall, the current situation was that the natives of Earth had always been on land. They had to endure the abuse of the aliens. The 3 Emperor-level Undyings of the aliens had gathered. They were Phoenix Emperor, representing the Virtual Universe Company, Jelly Emperor, representing the Battle Axe Coliseum, and the Lady Emperor, representing the Universe First Bank, Galaxy Bank, and Mercenary Alliance. In terms of true strength, Emperor was the strongest. She was at the pinnacle of Emperor level. Phoenix Emperor and Jelly Emperor were much weaker. This is too much. How can they do this? Just who gave this order? Did they discuss it with the upper echelon of the Battle Axe Coliseum? I will definitely report it, definitely. Jelly Emperor roared. Go ahead. This is the order of the Primal Chaos City leader. Phoenix Emperor said casually. Jelly Emperor's eyes stared wide. Bastard, bastard. The first emperor was shocked as well. The information is correct. Phoenix Emperor nodded. The primal Chaos City leader personally gave the order. It must be that Luo Feng, that despicable Luo Feng. Jelly Emperor gritted his teeth, feeling even more jealous. Jelly Emperor had trained to the undying level, yet he didn't have the right to meet the primal Chaos City leader. However, that Luo Feng was able to get the primal Chaos City leader to give him an order. Just how huge was the difference between the two? Of course it's Luo Feng, but what can you do? Phoenix Emperor looked at him. The Severing King gnashed his teeth in anger, but there was nothing he could do. As back then Luo Feng had signed a contract with the Virtual Universe Company. The control was with the Virtual Universe Company and not the Battle Axe Coliseum. The Battle Axe Coliseum was able to send large amounts of young couples to Earth. They had to pay a huge price. However, the management of Earth was still up to the Virtual Universe Company. The Primal Chaos City leader was the #1 authority of the Virtual Universe Company. He was the most powerful person in the Virtual Universe Company. Who would dare to go against his orders? King Jelly gritted his teeth. This order, no matter how strict it is, there will always be loopholes. Suddenly, an incomparably majestic and terrifying aura rose from Earth, enveloping the entire planet. Whether it was the natives of Earth on the continents of Asia, Europe, South America, or the immigrants of the floating cities above the oceans of the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean, they all felt this domineering aura that made their hearts tremble. Let's go take a look. What happened? Which expert is it? In a flash, the 3 Emperor Undyings had already flown into the sky above the floating city. Looking into the distance, their vision could easily see thousands of kilometers away. The 3 of them stared dumbfounded at the scene before them. Towering vines that pierced through the atmosphere appeared on the continents on Earth. Each continent had vines that soared into the sky. The vines were so tall that they pierced through the atmosphere. Each of them was tens of thousands of kilometers tall. With their eyesight, they could easily see hundreds of vines. Start eating grass. Undying start eating grass. The Lady Emperor was shocked. Every vine has the same energy. It's the same undying star eating grass. Quickly check how many vines there are. Phoenix Emperor said. 1,000 vine. Jelly Emperor's voice was soft. 1,000 vine star eating grass. An undying level 1,000 vine star eating grass. Just who is this rich to grow one undying level 1,000 vine star eating grass? That's worth hundreds of billions of mixed elements. Emperor's eyes were filled with disbelief. Don't tell me it's that Luo Feng. He has that much wealth. Even if he passes the Primal Sky Mountain, he'll only get 100 billion points. That's not enough to grow the 1,000 vine star eating grass. Of course, it's the Primal Chaos City leader who gave it to him. How much wealth does he have? Jelly Emperor snorted coldly. The 1,000 vine star eating grass, even though it was at the pinnacle of Emperor level, its plant life form's characteristics made its toughness and sharpness no weaker than an Emperor level human warrior. Secondly, its huge size would give it a certain advantage even when facing a peak Regis conferred human martial artist. Furthermore, its life force was much stronger than that of a Regis conferred human martial artist. Even the strongest fire god, Origin Crystal, would not be able to destroy it. The 1,000 vine star-eating grass could cover an area of 1,000,000 kilometers. How much of an area could a fire god, Origin Crystal, cover? The Virtual Universe Company has orders. A cold voice reverberated throughout the entire Earth, ringing in the ears of every Earthling and every immigrant. From now on, all alien immigrants are forbidden to step into the land and its airspace. All Earthlings are forbidden to step into the sea and its airspace. Violators will die. This plant life form is an undying level 1,000 vine star eating grass. It will be stationed at the edge of the continent. It's in charge of protection, no matter if it's a native or an alien. As long as anyone violates it, they will be killed. The voice lingered for a long time. However, the entire human race of Earth, be it the natives or the alien immigrants, were all in an uproar. The natives were all cheering endlessly. Haha, those despicable immigrants won't come again. That's great. Who was that voice earlier? They actually arranged for an undying to be stationed there? Fool! Who else can help us humans? It's definitely Luo Feng. As the Earth natives cheered, the alien immigrants too were in an uproar. However, it was an uproar of rage. Who gave the order to forbid us from entering the continent? We didn't even hear of such a rule when we first came. Who gave the order? What guts? Even with the order from the upper echelon, who dares place 1,000 vine, star-eating grass on Earth to threaten us? It's simply too arrogant. This is a threat to our lives. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. When the aboriginals and immigrants were in an uproar, Jelly Emperor, Phoenix Emperor, and Emperor, the three undyings had all flown to the edge of the Asian continent. Luo Feng too flew there, both sides facing each other. Your Majesty, Luo Feng. Phoenix Emperor was courteous. Phoenix Emperor. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. He recognized Phoenix Emperor. Luo Feng. Even with the primal Chaos City leader's order, you still can't place this 1,000 vine star-eating grass deep within the continent. Jelly Emperor roared. This is a threat to all the immigrants. We will obey the city leader's order. However, you have to take the 1,000 vine star-eating grass away. Luo Feng looked coldly at him, after which he smiled at Phoenix Emperor and Emperor. You two will chat in the Great Alliance in the future. I'll be leaving first today. Both the Phoenix King and the First Sovereign King nodded. Halt! Jelly Emperor shouted. Luo Feng turned and glanced at him, after which he vanished, leaving behind a cold voice. Idiot! Jelly Emperor's face immediately flushed red. Beside him, Phoenix Emperor and Emperor looked at him like he was an idiot. To them, Jelly Emperor was a fool, an idiot. What was Luo Feng's status? He was the direct disciple of the primal Chaos City leader. Jelly Emperor was just a fringe member of his family. He hadn't even seen the Void Gold Lord once. The difference in status between the two was huge. Jelly Emperor still roared. Luo Feng couldn't even be bothered. Jelly Emperor, I advise you to be careful. Don't rush past the border. He was killed by the 1,000 vine, star-eating grass, the Phoenix Dawn Monarch said lightly, and then turned into a streak of light and left. Amongst the three, Phoenix Emperor and Jelly Emperor were at odds, while Emperor was the peacemaker. Jelly Emperor, calm down. Emperor instructed. When you provoked him earlier, he didn't dare act rashly because of the large amounts of immigrants behind you. Over 10 billion immigrants represent the various superfamilies. These superfamilies don't have universe lords behind them, but they're still the overlords of the universe. As for you, with Luo Feng's status, he really doesn't think highly of you. Look, the only thing you can be proud of is your own strength. He can casually take out an undying 1,000 vine star eating grass. Killing you is easy. After working with you for a while, let me remind you, don't lose your life in the end. So, Emperor 2 became a beam of light and left. Jelly Emperor stood in mid-air, gazing at the distant Asian continent border. His expression was ugly. After struggling for a while, he could only turn and fly back. After this battle, there were even 2 arrogant immigrants who were directly killed by the 1,000 vine, star-eating grass. Those immigrants also quickly received accurate information and knew that the order was real. At the same time, they also received a strict order from the higher-ups. Immediately, they all became obedient. After all, the primal Chaos City leader was the #1 person in power in the virtual universe company. Who would dare go against his orders? The people of Earth were overjoyed. They finally didn't have to live like grandchildren anymore. They could be happy and carefree. 1 month later, Luo Feng was finally about to leave Earth. On the surface, there's the 1,000 vine star eating grass. But in the dark, there's still the Emperor-level warrior, Iron Flag Emperor. Luo Feng instructed his wife, and the secret methods I've left for you. You can also nurture your own undying plant life. Anyway, you decide everything yourself. I'll leave everything at home to you. Su Xian nodded. She felt warmth within, the man roaming outside, the woman looking after the home. Be careful when you go out this time, Su Xian said. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. Dad, Mom. Luo Feng said goodbye to his parents, brother, and son. After that, He left and teleported and vanished. Within the dark universe, a ferocious beetle-like life ship was flying swiftly. This life ship was one of the three best ships Luo Feng's subordinates and the warriors he killed. Such a life ship, under normal circumstances, only an emperor-level warrior would be able to use it. Within the life ship, within the control room. Let's first deal with the Demon Hand Emperor and head towards the distant universe, secret region Ice Hell Planet. Luo Feng ordered. Yes, master. A low voice resounded from within the ship. Asterisk on the first day of October, there was another double monthly vote event. Right now, the competition for the monthly votes was crazy. Everyone's guaranteed monthly votes would all go to Tomato. Asterisk. Chapter 932. Using the God Country teleportation and the life ship flying in the dark universe. Luo Feng spent about half a month to reach where Demon Hand Emperor was hiding. Luckily, I have Sky Formation Emperor. Luo Feng was delighted within. I have 12 warriors under me. The rest are all foreign races. Only Sky Formation Emperor is human. Of the soul slaves he controls, other than the three experts, there are also some weaker Undyings. Many of them are humans. The human Undyings have left coordinates in many places in the human territory. This way, I can swiftly teleport from the God Country to each location. At least, in the human territory, I can swiftly reach any universe country. And I have many foreign race slaves. These foreign races have left tokens in other distant territories in the universe. This way, I can use the God Country teleportation to directly reach a distant place in the universe. This way, the time spent in flight will be much shorter. Luo Feng was elated. He too discovered the benefits of having more slaves. The longer they lived, the more regions they traveled to in the universe, and the more tokens they left in the universe. Sky Formation Emperor and the other warriors had painstakingly left these coordinates back then, and now they were all used by Luo Feng. Master, immediately begin universe travel. 1. The life ship's speed slowed to a stop, after which it was kicked out by the dark universe and returned to the actual universe. Demon Hand Star. Luo Feng stood in the control room of the life ship, gazing at the distant, endless space. Under the light of a huge star, a dark green life planet was emitting powerful life ripples. According to the Virtual Universe Company's information, Demon Hand Emperor's base is here. And half a year ago, his consciousness connected to the virtual universe. His coordinates were on this planet. Luo Feng frowned as he looked at the dark green planet. The Virtual Universe Company wasn't omniscient. They could at most provide detailed information. Luo Feng, let me out. Babada's voice resounded in his mind. Come out. Luo Feng released Babada from his world ring. He was completely covered in black armor. His face was covered, only revealing a pair of blood-red crystal eyes. A small figure of about 1.45 m, almost like a child, with two golden horns on his forehead, appeared beside him. This was Babada, the Babada with the heart of evolution. Luo Feng's gains from the foreign battlefields were huge, hence he bought an evolution heart for Babada, giving him the chance to train and evolve. As for Luo Feng's arm guard screen, it displayed Babada's AI. I want to see that salop die. Babada gritted his teeth. Sure, but you have to be by my side. Luo Feng said. Yes. Babada nodded heavily, his eyes filled with hatred. Even though he automatically recognized Luo Feng as his master when Luo Feng was still the domain lord, he was still an AI and had feelings. His old master brought him to roam the universe, and the long years allowed him to evolve from a normal AI to an AI. That Huyin Bo was like a father to Babada, like an older brother. Let's go. Luo Feng's cloud contact armor swiftly changed. A glaring golden armor. Even his head and face were completely covered. Luo Feng was like a golden armored man. The Wu killer wings were completely kept within his body. Just looking at it from the outside, no one would be able to recognize Luo Feng's identity. He stowed the spacecraft away. The golden armored man and the black armored man teleported in space and arrived at the dark green planet's atmosphere. Why aren't you going in? Babada urged anxiously. Let me check. After I find the exact location, I'll make my move. Luo Feng used the large detector to cover the entire planet and began to search. Babata was startled when he heard this. Luo Feng, I'm losing control. Haha, it's rare for an AI to lose control. This means that your emotions can affect your judgment. Luo Feng laughed. That's a good thing. This time, Babata was filled with grief. However, Luo Feng really didn't feel much. He had never interacted with Hu Yanbo before, nor did he have any feelings for him. All he felt was respect for his senior. He must be there, he must be there, he must be on this planet. Babata kept repeating in his heart, nervously anticipating. I found him, Luo Feng suddenly said. On this planet? Babata was surprised. Yes, he's on this planet. And according to my detection, he should be heavily injured, Luo Feng said. Luo Feng's large detector could at least be used to detect one Devil Hand Emperor, and that Devil Hand Emperor wouldn't be able to detect it at all. Heavily injured? Who cares if he's heavily injured or not? We have to kill him, Babata urged. Let's go. Let's go see him. Luo Feng brought Babata, and, with a teleportation, they entered the core of the planet. The starfield around Devil Hand Planet was considered one of the forbidden areas in the ancient Luin Universe country. A few of the super families in the ancient Luin Universe country knew that this starfield was occupied by a powerful Undying. Since this Undying didn't have much ambition and only occupied a starfield of 9 galaxies, naturally no one dared to provoke him. The core of this starfield was Devil Hand Planet. Recently, the Demon Emperor's temper hasn't been good. Be careful, don't anger him, and lose your lives. An Undying shouted to a group of maids. Yes, the intelligent and beautiful maids that had been selected from the 9 galaxies controlled by the Devil's Hand Star were currently trembling in fear. This was because in the past few thousand years, the ruler of this galaxy, the Demon Emperor, had always been in a bad mood. The slightest mistake by the maids would anger him, and the outcome would be tragic. Let's go in, the Undying ordered. The 800 maids all carried their plates and lined up, heading into the depths of the palace. The deeper they went, the more their hearts trembled. Finally, they arrived at the Demon Emperor's residence. When half of the maids entered, they heard a cold voice. Devil Hand Emperor. The voice was ice cold. A formless pressure emanated out. The 800 maids all knelt down uncontrollably. That terrifying pressure even made the Undying in charge of the entire palace tremble and kneel down. My God, what a terrifying pressure. It's 10 to 100 times stronger than Masters at his strongest. Just what kind of warrior is this? Where did such a warrior come from in our ancient Luin Universe country? Rumble. The roof of the palace exploded and a gray silhouette rushed into the sky. Shwa. A golden figure appeared in the sky and kicked the gray figure. This kick, which contained the profound mysteries of the laws, caused the gray figure to cough up golden blood. At the same time, the gray figure was sent flying. He flew backward until he was close to the broken palace before he came to a stop. It was a sinister man with a head similar to an eagle's, and he wore gray armor. The kneeling Undying secretly watched this scene, shocked within. Teleportation? That golden-armored man can teleport? It's over, Master is finished. In the entire palace, countless attendants and servants were kneeling. Some of them were sneaking glances at the pathetic scene of the invincible existence in their hearts, the Demon King. Compared to that, the golden figure was extremely dazzling. Teleportation? Devil Hand Emperor floated in mid-air, looking up at the golden armor man and bowing respectfully. Greetings, Lord. You can teleport. You should be an Emperor Pinnacle warrior. I don't know how I've offended you. Please tell me. I'll definitely do my best to make it up to you. If I can't appease you, it won't be too late for you to take my life. Luo Feng gazed at him, his voice rumbling. You do understand the situation. Lord can teleport. I have no chance of escaping. Even when I'm at full strength, I'm far from being your match. What's more, my god body has been greatly damaged. My strength has been greatly reduced. You can kill me with a wave of your hand. What else can I do? I can only think of ways to preserve my life. If I can't, I can only accept my fate. Devil Hand Emperor was incomparably respectful. Luo Feng's voice rumbled. The servants below all heard. Devil Hand Emperor wasn't afraid of losing face, speaking directly, his voice resounding. Obviously, he was trying to show his sincerity. As for the servants below, these servants that have seen me in such a sorry state, as long as they survive this, they'll all die? Devil Hand Emperor thought within. Why is the Demon Emperor like a servant? Just who is this golden armored man? He's much stronger than the Demon Emperor. Countless servants didn't seem to sense the danger. Kill Luo Feng, kill him. Babata urgently communicated to Luo Feng. Lord, please speak clearly. I don't even know how I've offended you. Devil Hand Emperor said respectfully. Luo Feng gazed at him. No matter how you struggle, it's useless. I'll tell you, you'll definitely die. Demon Hand's eyes revealed a look of unwillingness. Just as he was about to speak, however, Luo Feng had already appeared before him. In his hand was a sharp spike. This was a spike that the Cloud Contact Vine used to kill its enemies. It was coated with poison, and Luo Feng was currently holding it and piercing forward. It pierced through the armor, piercing into Devil Hand Emperor's body. He pulled it out. Golden blood splattered everywhere. The Devil Hand King's entire divine body was corroded by Feimaw's venom, and his eyes were filled with terror. Then his entire body completely collapsed and disappeared. Even the golden blood that spurted out was annihilated. Only his armor, world ring, and other items fell from the sky, but they were swept away by a black shadow. The black silhouette stopped beside Luo Feng. It was Babata. It's done. Babata looked at the armor in his hand. The blood-red diamond eyes filled with a complex expression. It's been over 60,000 years. Luo Feng looked at Babata, not disturbing him at this time. Boss, did you see? Devil Hand Emperor is dead. He's dead. Back then, when you entrusted me with your inheritance, I didn't even dare tell Luo Feng about your enemy. I didn't even dare to think there would be a day of revenge. Revenge has been taken. He didn't even have the strength to retaliate. Back then, the Devil Hand Emperor that chased us to the ends of the earth was actually so weak before Luo Feng. Babata muttered. The surroundings were completely blocked by Luo Feng's spirit energy shield, the mini-scanning device. Luo Feng blocked all of this, quietly waiting for Babata to calm down. Chapter 9:33. Babata was chanting and releasing his emotions. There were tens of thousands of years of depression, the pain of his old master's death, the joy of revenge, and also the memories of the past. Luo Feng. I'm done. Babata looked at Luo Feng. Thank you. Senior Huyen Bo was kind to me. I've also taken him as my teacher. This is what I should do. Babata, shall I keep you in the world ring now? Luo Feng asked. I can also ask the other emperors in the world ring and become undying faster. Babata nodded. With my little strength, I'll only affect you. Anyway, I can contact you through my AI. Luo Feng's thoughts moved, and Babata was immediately kept in the world ring. With the evolution heart, Babata was like the automaton race. It was easy for the automaton race to become sector lords. However, becoming undying was very difficult. Luo Feng gazed down at the countless people kneeling and trembling, after which he teleported and left Devil Hand Planet. He's gone. The golden armored divinity has left. It's too terrifying. The Demon Emperor couldn't even retaliate against the golden armored divinity. I heard that the divinities have undying bodies, yet the Demon Emperor was easily killed. The Demon Emperor has fallen. We don't have to be afraid anymore. Haha. This starfield is our world. The entire Devil Hand Planet immediately began a change in power. In a distant, desolate starfield in the universe, the distance from the human domain was unfathomably far. Within a normal star, a star was definitely one of the most common celestial bodies in the universe. However, this star was special because within the star, within the endless flames, there was a silhouette. A silhouette sat crossed-legged within the star. There really was a warrior that killed me. A voice filled with hatred resounded. This silhouette was the Demon Emperor Salop. Salop sat cross-legged. The heat of the star had no effect on him at all. And the one who came was so strong, yet he hid his identity. It's very likely he was sent by His Majesty Luo Phone. I've long guessed that this day would come. Salop muttered softly. Back then, Luo Phone was incomparably dazzling in the genius battle. Even being absorbed into the virtual universe company, the demon emperor Salop had his eyes on him. He suspected that Luo Phone received Hu Yin Bo's inheritance. Back then, when I was chasing Hu Yin Bo, I used a secret soul technique. Hu Yin Bo was dead for sure. In addition, he escaped too fast in the dark universe. It was difficult to catch up with him in a short time. Because of the treasure, I didn't continue. He had many places to hide. Who knows where he escaped to before he died? 50,000 years later, Luo Feng's sudden rise, a spirit reader of the same bloodline as him, and able to buy Earth, an aboriginal punk without any special gains, how could he afford a planet? Furthermore, with such a heaven-defying performance in the Battle of Geniuses, who would believe that he didn't receive the inheritance? At that time, I suspected that he might be related to Hu Yin Bo, but he has always been in Primal Chaos City, and I can't do anything to him. Finally, he became a domain lord and returned to the Ganwu Universe country. This time, he's actually using the Yun Mo planet ship. Humph, Yun Mo planet's spaceship. There's no doubt now, he is Hu Yin Bo's disciple. However, at this time, he's the supervisor envoy, a member of the Virtual Universe Company's primal region. If I dare to make a move, the moment I'm discovered, I'm dead for sure. I can only gamble that Hu Yin Bo didn't leave behind a message before he died. He didn't tell his disciple who killed him. If he really had good intentions for his disciple, he wouldn't have made an emperor-level undying his enemy. After all, when he was alive, his disciples were only SOSO. After a lifetime, how strong could his disciple be? It's not like he can predict the future. Looks like I guessed wrong. He left a message to Luo Phone. Luo Feng's position is extremely high now. It's very easy for him to invite some absolute warriors to help him. Asking one to hide his identity and kill me is a very easy task. Demon Hand King Salop sat cross-legged in the blazing flames of the star. His eyes were filled with an ominous light. Fortunately, although I was gambling, I didn't dare to bet everything. I forcefully cut my own divine body, splitting it into two. One of them had 40% of my divine body, and the other had 60% of my divine body. God splitting. The weak god body stayed on Devil Hand Planet and pretended to be heavily injured, waiting for this day. The other god body hid in a distant territory, quietly waiting. My plan was to wait for 1,000,000 years. If there's no danger in 1,000,000 years, I'll be able to show myself again. Haha, luckily I had a trick on my sleeve. Lucky. I don't have the qualifications to be revived by reversing time and space, but I still had this trick up my sleeve. Golden Armored Man. Even though I don't know who you are, but there's a 90% chance you were invited by Luo Phone. Other than Luo Phone, none of my enemies can invite such a powerful being. Luo Phone. I can't beat you now. However, I'll be back. I'll return to the human territory. Salop let out a hysterical roar. The roar was like a shockwave that reverberated deep within the star. Splitting the god body wasn't something normal warriors had the courage to do. Like Devil Hand's god body, one was 60% and the other 40%. The 60% undying body only had 10% of his power when he was in his perfect state. As for the 40% undying body, it was even weaker. Under such circumstances, the two god bodies were obviously much weaker. There was another risk. If the enemy's soul controlled one of the divine bodies, the Devil Hand King's entire body would be controlled. He was weak. Easier to soul control. These two risks weren't something normal people were willing to take. Of course, the only good thing about these two risks was a chance to make a comeback. When the god body was split, the two halves of the god body could sense each other. Thus, the two halves of the god body couldn't recover. Only when one of the halves of the god body died would the other slowly recover. After a long time, it would recover to its perfect condition. Time passed. In the dark universe, the beetle-like life ship maintained 80 times light speed as it moved forward. Within the ship's control room, there was a crystal-clear dining table. On both sides of the table sat a total of 12 absolute warriors. Luo Feng sat in the main seat. Tomorrow we'll reach the universe secret region. It's been over 2 years, and we're finally here. To the arrival of the universe secret region, let's toast. Luo Feng raised his glass. Congratulations, Master. The 12 warriors all shrunk to human size and raised their glasses. They raised their glasses and drank together. At this time, Luo Feng still didn't know that the Devil Hand Emperor Salop he killed 2 years ago on Devil Hand Planet was only a split body. After all, the probability of that was very small. Actually, even if he knew, Luo Feng couldn't do anything about it, because Salop's other body was definitely hidden very far away. Even though he had no choice, Luo Feng wasn't afraid. That Salop trained for trillions of years before becoming an emperor-level undying. And the 12 warriors under him, if they weren't spirit masters at the pinnacle, then they were at the limit. Normal emperors didn't even have the right to sit. Like Sky Formation Emperor, Demon Light Emperor, and Heart Refiner Emperor, these spirit masters all had a group of soul slaves. It was just that these slaves were mostly normal undyings and official level. Occasionally there would be an emperor, but they weren't even worth mentioning. The universe. Luo Feng raised his glass. It's simply too huge. Even if I use the god countries to teleport closest to the universe secret region, it's still close to 2 billion light years away. Even if I travel at 80 times light speed in the dark universe, it'll still take over 2 years. Master, the main thing is that the Wuhua secret region is too remote. None of us have been there before. Heavy Arrow Emperor smiled. The universe is vast and boundless. There are countless secret regions scattered throughout the universe. Since we've participated in the foreign battlefields, we're not too far from the human territories. Only a few of the warriors under Master have come from faraway places. However, none of them have been to the Wuhua secret region before. That's why Master needs to fly in the dark universe for over 2 years. Fu Shui Emperor said. Luo Feng nodded. The powerful being of the foreign race placed the 3rd black metal plate on the ice prison planet. This planet was extremely remote, far from the human territory. If one were to use a spaceship to fly at 80 times the speed of light in the dark universe, it would still take over 100 years. One could only imagine how far the distance was. Luckily, he had the god countries to teleport under him, saving a large portion of the distance. Luckily, this life ship is fast enough, even faster than the Yun Mo planet ship. Luo Feng thought. Rumble. Outside the ship, a huge energy ripple could be felt. It's a robbery. Another robbery. Heavy Arrow Emperor, Fu Shui Emperor, Extreme Rainbow Emperor, and Sky Formation Emperor all laughed. Luo Feng laughed too. The dark universe of the human territories was still considered safe. There were only a few dark universe robbers. That was because humanity's control was indeed very strong. However, once they left the human territories and flew through the dark universe, they would often encounter bandits and powerful beings from spaceships fighting each other. It's a few official undyings and normal undyings of the foreign races. Extreme Rainbow Emperor extended his god energy and scanned the area. He smiled and said, "We are really lonely." Sky Formation Emperor said, "We've been flying for over 2 years. Even though we've met many robbers, none of them have dared to kill us. Those robbers aren't stupid. Even though we can't tell from the outer appearance of the ship, we can maintain 80 times light speed. A ship that can maintain 80 times light speed, most Emperor-level undyings don't have such ships. Would those robbers dare to touch us?" Extreme Rainbow Emperor's voice was ear-piercing. He laughed loudly. "It's easy to get robbed. As long as we slow down to 10 times light speed, I can guarantee we'll be robbed every few days." Interesting. Master has to agree to this. The group of warriors all laughed. Luo Feng smiled too. This life ship was also the fastest ship. He had killed so many warriors and taken in so many servants. The Yun Mo planet ship's maximum speed was 50 times light speed. That was after the virtual universe company's modifications. The further it went, the harder it got. 80 times light speed was unbelievable. Don't rush. Once we reach the universe's secret region, there will be time for you to battle. Luo Feng smiled. The second day, Luo Feng and the others had finally arrived at the universe's secret region, the Crowflower secret region. And that ice hell planet was within the huge Crowflower secret region. Chapter 934. The Crowflower secret area's largest diameter was 160,000 light-years. It was considered small within the universe's secret areas. The entire secret area's danger level was average. Even undyings could enter. Other than the 6 extreme danger regions, the other regions of the Wuhua secret area were considered low in danger. Only normal undyings were a threat. And the 6 extreme danger zones were places where even universe supremacies could fall. Ice Hell Planet was within one of the 6 danger regions, the Ice Hell Star Belt. Wuhua secret area, the outermost region of the Ice Hell Star Belt. Within the space, a ferocious beetle-like creature ship appeared out of nowhere. Ice Hell Star Belt, I've arrived. Luo Feng stood in the control room, gazing at the distant space. He had directly passed through the universe to the outermost area of the Ice Prison Star Belt. Even though the powerful being had given him the exact coordinates of the Ice Prison planet, it was still the core area of the Star Belt. Even a universe knight wouldn't dare to be so arrogant. Luo Feng naturally wouldn't dare. According to the information, the danger level of the Wuhua secret area is relatively low. However, this Ice Hell Star Belt is very dangerous. The alien race's test was, as he said, he didn't care about my life or death. Luo Feng thought, for the alien race to be one of the strongest beings in the universe, it wasn't strange for him to nurture his disciple this way. The 6 danger regions, this has already been explored, and the universe secret areas are simply too huge. There are many places no warriors have been to before. Who knows, a 7th danger region might appear. A universe secret area's diameter range from tens of thousands of light-years to millions of light-years, up to hundreds of millions of light-years. Not even mentioning those over 100 million light-years. Just a few million light-years in diameter would be a million years flying at light speed. To completely explore it, one would probably have to pass through trillions of times, and even if one really scanned carefully, they might not be able to detect the true danger. Flying at light speed, how could they detect the danger? Hence, it was rare to go to any of the universe secret areas, unless one had absolute confidence in himself. Let's go. Luo Feng sat in the creature's ship, simultaneously activating the large scanning and micro-scanning devices, allowing the ship to head into the Ice Hell Star Belt. He didn't dare to teleport. The entire Ice Hell Star Belt's diameter was only 1 light-years. One teleport, and he would probably meet with danger. The creature's ship flew at sublight speed. After flying for over 3 months, Luo Feng closed his eyes and sat cross-legged within the control room. Warning, warning, under attack, under attack. The artificial intelligence immediately reported. The power is Marquis, undying, unable to damage the biological ship. Luo Feng opened his eyes, his expression changed. Not good. Boom, boom. 2 strong attacks swept across the biological ship. The ship only shook slightly and easily blocked it. Its defense was over 100 times stronger than the Yun Mo planet ship. The entire ship itself was actually fused with a unique life form in the universe, the Muvika tree spirit. Tree spirits were a branch of plant life. They had low attack power and even lower intelligence. They were very simple and only knew how to survive. Just like how some metallic spaceships could fuse with metallic life forms, biological spaceships could also fuse with special life forms, causing the spaceship to undergo a qualitative change. This biological spaceship had an extremely strong defense and was extremely fast. It also had the characteristic of a biological spaceship, self-recovery ability. It was just that its attacks were very weak. Bastard. Being attacked, Luo Feng gritted his teeth. These bastards. Luo Feng immediately teleported from the inside of the biological ship to the outside. The silver-armored and silver-winged Luo Feng stood beside the ship, gazing into the distance. In the distance, there was a vast green and purple river flowing through the sky. This river's width was about 300 million kilometers, and its depth was about 100 million kilometers. Its length was extremely long. This was the famous Star River of the ice prison star belt. Two bastards. Luo Feng looked around cautiously, after which he looked angrily at the two strong silhouettes that appeared from the Star River. Their ship could easily block their attacks. However, Luo Feng was afraid of the energy ripples, drawing out the most terrifying group of enemies in the ice prison star belt, which was also the owner of the entire star belt. Luckily, this place is still quite far from the ice prison stars. Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief. Haha, human, you think that just by sitting in the ship and using the scanning device to hide, we won't be able to detect you. The vibrations from flying at sublight speed can easily be detected by us. However, your ship is not bad. It can actually withstand our attacks. Human, why are you standing there? Not coming over? Weren't you so angry that you wanted to attack? Two fishtails, their bodies covered in black scales, their bodies covered in a layer of green light, were shouting. Luo Feng could tell with a glance that these were from the Russian race. The Russian race was naturally adept in the water, and this star river was filled with endless water that was extremely cold. This star river was known for its cold and high density. Even an emperor-level warrior would feel a shocking amount of resistance and bone-piercing cold if he were to enter it. His speed wouldn't even be 1% of his normal speed, as long as one used the Star River and metal to create an armor. Wearing the armor with the Star River's special properties would be able to withstand the cold, and in the Star River, it would be like returning to one's mother's embrace. One wouldn't feel any resistance at all. Obviously, the layer of green light on the two Russian race members was the special properties of the Star River armor. Haha, are you afraid? The two Russian warriors sneered, tried to lure Luo Feng in. They had been in the Star River for tens of thousands of years and were familiar with many of the dangerous places. As long as Luo Feng dared to charge in and chase with their natural abilities in the water and their armor, along with their familiarity with the many dangerous places within the Star River, they naturally had the confidence to kill this human. Two idiots. Luo Feng's expression sunk. Two black balls floated in his left palm. Go! Xiao! Xiao! The two black spheres quickly turned into a beam of light and directly rushed into the surging Star River. These black spheres were the sealing stars. Each of them was ridiculously heavy, much heavier than a star. The Star River was known for its high density. How could it compare to the sealing stars? The resistance had little effect on the black balls. As for the cold, it was even more useless. Quickly flee. The two Rushi experts hurriedly dove into the depths of the Milky Way, but the two black spheres were ridiculously fast. His ethereal, undying energy hasn't been weakened in the Star River. The two Russian warriors couldn't believe it. As they fled, they desperately tried to block the two black balls. My spirit energy has been weakened by 1,000 times in the Star River water. Luckily, I have the general spirit. Otherwise, just the Sector Lord world energy alone would probably be destroyed by the Star River water. Even with Luo Feng's spirit energy weakened by 1,000 times, he could still suppress the Emperor level. Dealing with the two official level undyings was still easy. So heavy. The two experts of the Rushi tribe felt an unimaginable force coming from the black ball. It broke their weapons and pierced through one of their divine bodies. Chi! Chi! Both of their chests had been pierced by the black spheres. The moment the Feymaw venom on the black spheres touched their divine bodies, it instantly corroded their divine bodies, causing fear to appear in their eyes. Soon after, they were completely annihilated. The two of them had endured in the Astral River for far too long. Even if they encountered an immortal Regis, they would not fear them at all. Luo Feng's spirit energy guided the two black balls and the treasures of the Russian warriors out of the Star River and before him. Two insolent bastards. Luo Feng shook his head. He had made ample preparations this time. He had a deep understanding of the special areas of the ice prison star belt. The Star River was vast. Deep within it there were indeed dangerous areas. And the terrifying beings of the ice prison planet were even more proficient in the cold water. Hence Luo Feng had never thought of hiding in the water. The two of them weren't wrong. Hiding in the Star River water, with their understanding of the Star River, along with their speed, even an Emperor-level Undying wouldn't be able to deal with them. Luo Feng shook his head. If the two of them knew of the Blade River Emperor's name, it would be a different story. It was a pity, other than the virtual universe network, even the automaton race's methods were lacking, much less the other pinnacle races. Even the demon race, bug race, the pinnacle races couldn't deal with the super long-distance information, the two Undyings from a tiny race like the Russian race. Being so far away, how would they know what was happening in the battlefield outside? The universe ship is flying too fast. It's causing the air to tremble. Teleportation will also create special space ripples, allowing those that specialize in teleportation to sense it from far away. Luo Feng stood in mid-air and frowned. I'll just fly with my body. The bigger the commotion. My body will definitely cause much less commotion than the life ship. And with the Wu Killer Wing space control, I'll be as fast as a specter. The impact on space will be minimized. And I'll fly slower too. Luo Feng kept the life ship and began to fly slowly, gradually accelerating, gradually reaching 100,000 kilometers per second. Through the Wu Killer Wings, the airflow was obviously much calmer. Xiao, the mini-scanning device, completely concealed him. Luo Feng proceeded carefully. Whether it was because of the other races or because of the information he had gathered, he didn't dare be careless. As he went deeper, the special scenes of the ice prison star belt were discovered one by Luo Feng. Like the outermost Star River. Along the way, there were floating frozen corpses of warriors in the 10,000 God Graveyard Mountain. Even deeper was the extremely dangerous Star Belt. Star Belt. Luo Feng was in space. Beside him floated many ice mountains. Before him was a rainbow-colored water current, almost like ribbons, surrounding the center of the ice prison star belt. These water currents were filled with cold energy. Luo Feng could feel it even from so far away. Luo Feng, however, knew that wasn't water, but many peculiar and extremely cold tiny crystals, forming a mudslide-like river. It was the second most dangerous place in the entire ice prison star belt. As for the most dangerous, it was the vast area surrounded by the star belt, the many frozen planets. With a glance, Luo Feng could vaguely see a few hundred planets. Ice prison planet, Luo Feng thought. For chapters completed, writing till now, and finally finishing, he was so tired he couldn't even move. Recently, his tenosynovitis had flared up, and today he went to visit his relatives. The first chapter was written through the night. Today he came back to finish the last 3 chapters. Especially when he was writing the 4th chapter, he was stuck. Woo, after so many obstacles, he finally finished the 4th chapter. Brothers, tomatoes are already like this. Can you bear not to give your monthly votes? Chapter 935. Luo Feng stood in space, separated by the vast star belt, looking at the distant ice prison planets. Even though they were extremely far from him, just like how a normal earthling could easily see the distant sun, Luo Feng's vision was extremely high. He could even see through a person's pores from over 10,000 kilometers away. Naturally, he could see the endless distance of the ice prison planets. Black metal board. Luo Feng felt a strong calling from the direction of the ice prison planets. This is that one. Luo Feng's gaze immediately locked onto one. The calling is coming from there. The coordinates given by the foreign races were correct. That black metal board is right on that ice prison planet. The foreign races wanted me to do something very simple. To enter that ice prison planet, take the black metal board and slip away. However, those ice prison planets are the nests of the special life forms. Every one of them represents a powerful special life form. Luo Feng thought. Within the ice prison planet lived a special life form that was born from the birth of the universe. They were named Bandit by the other races of the universe. Fonko was a life form formed by the condensation of extremely cold qi. Their appearances were devilishly beautiful, and they were extremely innocent. Although they were innocent, They were very bloodthirsty. To them, killing was just a game, and they would not feel guilty at all. Even though they couldn't reproduce, their talents were extremely high. It was said that there were thousands of bandit living in the ice prison planet. This was also their nest. According to the Virtual Universe Company's information, these thousands of bandit, a few hundred of them had become undying, and there were even 2 that became universe knights. A few hundred of them that became undying built their own ice prison planets. Bandit, special life forms. Even at the same level, they're over 100 times stronger than humans. Luo Feng thought. The limit of a human Emperor-level warrior's body was 100,000 times Sector Lord strength, unless his bloodline changed. And that Yin Ko, his Emperor-level body's limit was 10 million times Sector Lord strength. This was purely his body strength, not including any amplification techniques, etc. Like the Golden Horn Beast, it was 10 times stronger than a human. And the special life forms in the universe, even the weakest of them would be comparable to the Golden Horned Beast. Every icy hellstar is dangerous. I might be able to fight an immortal bandit, but if anything happens, I'll be exposed. Luo Feng thought. Whoever was exposed in the ice prison star belt, none of them had ever escaped, because there were 2 Universe Knight level bandit. They were all special life forms, so they were much stronger than many human universe supremacies. Right as Luo Feng was observing the situation and thinking of a plan, suddenly, a blurry figure dashed out of the wide and turbulent Star Belt River in the distance. Ha! 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 A crisp voice that contained an icy chill directly pierced through the void and spread out in all directions. The laughter was filled with joy and happiness. Luo Feng looked from afar. The distant Star Belt River had 3 blurry silhouettes, 1 purple and 2 green. The purple silhouette was about 2 m tall. Her body was slender and her entire body was purple. Hundreds of purple braids hung down from her head. Her body was covered in a purple crystal-like armor, exquisite and translucent. Through the translucent armor, one could vaguely see the purple silhouette's naked body. It looked like a human female. And the other 2 green silhouettes were 6 m tall, similarly extremely handsome. They too had hundreds of green braids, their entire bodies covered in green armor, similar to human males. Bandit as a special life form. There was actually no difference between male and female. Their appearance only represented their talent. There were fewer purple sea bandits, while there were more blue sea bandits. The purple sea bandit's cold energy was better at freezing the soul to death, while the blue sea bandit's cold energy was better at freezing the body to death. He leapt up. The 3 bandit laughed happily, their speed swiftly exploding, quickly reaching light speed and piercing through the universe, disappearing from Luo Feng's vision. Universe piercing? Luo Feng looked carefully. The space around Ice Hell Planet has been cleared of all impurities. It's completely empty. It can definitely reach light speed. Those 3 bandit from before were weaker. They should be Sector Lord level bandit. However, their strength is comparable to normal undyings. They can easily use their god bodies to enter universe piercing and return to their residences. Looks like I can only do that. Luo Feng nodded. Within the world ring, black-clothed Luo Feng stood there. The 12 warriors under him all bowed respectfully. Master. Sky Formation Emperor. Black-clothed Luo Feng looked over. Master. Sky Formation Emperor said respectfully. You have official-level slaves under you, right? Call one out. It's best if it's nimble and smart. Luo Feng said. Sky Formation Emperor, Demon Meng Emperor, and the other spirit-type masters all had a group of slaves. Emperor-level slaves may be rare, but official-level slaves were quite a few. Yes. Sky Array King waved his hand, and a skinny man who was only 1 meter tall appeared next to him. He was stooped, covered in black scales, and had a pair of green eyes. This was the Devil Conch Monkey of the Demon Clan. Master. The Demon Conch Monkey was filled with a smile. From now on, you will listen to my master's orders. Sky Formation Emperor pointed at Luo Feng. Completely listen to my master's orders. It's the same as my orders to you. Yes, yes, yes. The demon conch monkey replied. Black-clothed Luo Feng looked at the official-level demon, undying demon conch monkey. Do you have a mini scanning device or a large scanning device? No. The demon conch monkey shook his head. Master, just as Sky Formation Emperor was about to say that he had confiscated it, the black-clothed Luo Feng flipped his hand and threw out a detector. This is both the functions of a small detector and a large detector. This is the virtual universe's sensor receiver. You can log in anonymously. Luo Feng threw out an arm guard. You can recognize them first. Yes, yes, yes. The demon conch monkey was very excited. Virtual universe. Even sensors like the helmet had anonymous accounts. Much less now that Luo Feng's position was so high. Getting a permanent anonymous account was very easy. Only these anonymous accounts would be monitored even more heavily by the virtual universe. Listen well. Luo Feng ordered seriously. The demon conch monkey listened carefully. In a while, once you leave, accelerate to light speed and enter universe travel. When you reach the coordinates in the dark universe, then travel back to the actual universe. The black-clothed Luo Feng's arm guard projected a screen. On it appeared a star map. It was the map of the many ice hell planets. Within it were detailed coordinates. The moment you appear, you should appear in space 16 million kilometers away from this ice hell planet. Remember, you have to always activate the mini scanning device, hide your tracks, and prevent being discovered. After which you will quietly enter the closest ice hell planet. Search for a black metal board. These are some of the special properties of the black metal board. Luo Feng explained in detail to the servant, even explaining what to do if he was discovered, etc. Afraid that the servant would make a mistake, he made the servant personally repeat everything. Very good. The black-clothed Luo Feng nodded. Prepare to leave. I'll immediately bring you out. Yes. The demon conch monkey didn't disobey at all. Luo Feng's orders were equivalent to his master's orders. Even if he wanted him to self-destruct now, the demon conch monkey wouldn't resist at all. Hence, the moment a soul is controlled, its innate nature is already completely subservient to the master. Outside the turbulent and vast Star Belt River, Luo Feng quietly stood there, constantly activating the mini scanning device. Beside him stood the demon conch monkey. At this time, start accelerating, reach light speed, and enter universe travel. Go. Luo Feng ordered. Yes. The demon conch monkey's eyes gleamed with excitement. So, its speed swiftly rose, becoming a beam of light above the Star Belt River. Very quickly reaching light speed, the space trembled and it disappeared. Luo Feng watched the scene from afar. Those bandit pirates go from one ice hell planet to another, from the Star Belt River to their own residences. They all rely on universe travel. Otherwise, that long distance, just flying at sublight speed, would take 10 days to half a month. With frequent universe travel, then the demon conch monkey's universe travel shouldn't draw much attention. Let's see our luck. Let's hope the demon conch monkey's luck is good. With just this servant, I'll be able to bring the black metal board back. Luo Feng thought. Even if I can't bring it back, I'll at least be able to investigate the interior of the ice hell planet. Entering the ice hell planet was simply too dangerous. Luo Feng wouldn't blindly barge in himself. 16 million km away from the ice hell planet, the universe space rippled. The demon conch monkey appeared out of nowhere. He naturally activated his mini scanning device. Following the master for so many years, it's simply too lonely. I've always had nothing to do. Finally, there's something to do. Just where is this godforsaken place? It seems very dangerous. The demon conch monkey looked around cautiously. Simultaneously, his consciousness connected to the virtual universe through the sensor device, transmitting everything he saw to Luo Feng. Ice hell planet. The demon conch monkey was ignorant and daring. He had never heard of the ice hell planet and didn't know how dangerous it was. However, he still carefully flew over. The 16 million kilometers distance was simply too short. Even though the demon conch monkey was flying slowly, he still closed in after a while. Who? Two streams of light suddenly flew out. It was two Sector Lord-level Nangong bandits. The two incomparably handsome Nangong bandits were chatting and laughing. Although their gazes swept past the devil-conch monkey, the devil-conch monkey who had activated the mini-scanning device had completely concealed his tracks. At least he couldn't be seen with the naked eye. The two bandit pirates were still laughing and chatting, simultaneously increasing their speed, reaching light speed, following which they disappeared from the universe travel, heading towards the other areas of the ice hell planet belt. Luckily, they didn't see me. However, Master's master is really cowardly. Those two punks should be Sector Lords. I can easily kill them, yet they still forbid me from provoking any other life forms. The demon conch monkey carefully began flying towards the ice hell planet, finally entering the ice hell planet. Chapter 9:36. Outside the Star Belt River, Luo Feng was hidden in space, his consciousness, however, connected to the virtual universe. Virtual universe, Yuxiang Mountain Primal Region, Luo Feng's villa. I've entered the ice prison planet. Luo Feng sat in front of his desk, looking at the laptop screen before him. On it was playing a video. This video was transmitted by the demon conch monkey. Right now, it's up to you, demon conch monkey. Even I don't know where the black metal board is hidden. Luo Feng watched quietly. On the surface of the ice prison planet, the cold air was oppressive. The demon conch monkey landed on the surface. So cold. The demon conch monkey looked around. The mini-scanning device also covered the surroundings. Master wants me to find that black metal board. Where is it? This ice prison planet had a diameter of about 8,000 kilometers. On the surface of the planet, there was nothing at all, only a wide pathway that led directly into the depths of the planet. Choose one. The demon conch monkey randomly chose one and quietly flew in, using the mini-scanning device to scan. The deeper it went, the colder it got. After flying for about 3,000 kilometers, the demon conch monkey finally reached the end. Woo, this ice prison planet's depths is actually a palace. The devil conch monkey blinked its eyes and looked at the towering palace in front of it. It was over 1,000 kilometers tall and was completely made of purple and cyan ice. There was a terrifying aura spreading out from the palace. There's a terrifying warrior inside. The demon conch monkey gritted its teeth. Master, what do I do now? The demon conch monkey asked Luo Feng through the virtual universe. Activate the large scanning device. Simultaneously control the large scanning device to cover the entire ice prison planet. However, avoid that palace. Other than the palace, carefully scan every other place. Luo Feng ordered. Yes, master. The demon conch monkey didn't disobey, immediately controlling the large scanning device. 1. The large scanning device swiftly scanned the entire ice prison planet. Other than the palace at the core, the other places were all scanned. All the information was naturally transmitted to Luo Feng through the virtual universe. Luo Feng looked at the laptop screen, frowning as he looked at everything. Ice prison planet is very similar to the Bug Clan mother nest. Luo Feng said softly, the entire ice prison planet, other than the palace, there are no other treasures, it's all ice. Without a doubt, the black metal board is within that palace. Devil Shell Monkey, turn off the large scanning device and activate the mini scanning device. Enter the palace. Luo Feng ordered. Yes, master. Asterisk. The devil monkey could feel the powerful energy within the palace, but it definitely wouldn't disobey Luo Feng's orders. It could only carefully enter through the palace door. The palace was too big and empty. Not a single life could be seen. So cold. The devil shell monkey slowly flew into the palace, not daring to fly too fast for fear of attracting the attention of the experts inside. Where is it? Where's the black metal plate? The devil monkey was searching again and again through the miniature detector. When the devil monkey flew over the door of the inner hall, an invisible wave spread throughout the entire palace. Outsiders, an angry roar sounded, and at the same time, a purple light almost instantly appeared in front of the devil monkey. Not good. The devil snail monkey was shocked. Activate the large-scale scanning device, scan the entire palace, and flee. Luo Feng ordered urgently within the virtual universe. The devil snail monkey immediately turned on the large detector, and without caring about anything else, it immediately sped up to the limit to escape. Still trying to flee. That purple silhouette pointed at the devil snail monkey from afar. That crystal-clear finger shot out a purple light that landed on the devil snail monkey's body. Kakaka, a layer of ice swiftly formed on the devil snail monkey's body, becoming a huge ice block. As for the devil snail monkey within the ice block, it didn't move at all. All of its soul marks were frozen and shattered. Just like that, it fell. Actually, when the devil snail monkey became a soul slave, it was already equivalent to dying. The universe was like that. The strong preyed on the weak. Oomph. The powerful purple silhouette snorted coldly. These outsiders, all of them want the ice prison star stone and the green dew. An official undying dares to come here, become an ice statue. After which he waved his hand. A gust of energy carried the devil snail monkey's ice body and flew it to a corner of the palace. There were already 10 ice statues there. All of them were the brave and adventuring undyings of the other outsiders. They were all frozen and fell here. Virtual universe. Luo Feng sat in front of his desk and carefully looked at the last large scanning device over and over again, scanning everything within the palace. There's actually an ice prison star stone within this palace. Luo Feng looked at the screen at the fingernail-sized, almost transparent purple stone. The black metal board was hidden somewhere else. Luckily, it's not with the ice prison star stone. Luo Feng thought. Within this ice prison star belt, there were a total of 2 famous treasures in the universe, causing many brave warriors who had nowhere else to go or were willing to risk their lives to come here and gamble. As long as they succeeded in stealing one, they would truly be able to make a comeback. These 2 treasures were famous throughout the universe. One was the icy hell star stone, and the other was the icy hell green dew. Only the cyan banshee could produce the icy hell green dew after expending a great deal of effort, and only the violet banshee could produce the icy hell star stone with great difficulty. These 2 materials were both very expensive and had special effects. Just the nail-sized ice hell star stone stored in the palace alone was worth around 2 trillion mixed elements. Treasures. However, the more valuable a treasure is, the more dangerous it is. Luo Feng shook his head. The ice prison star belt is one of the 6 most dangerous places in the Wuhua secret area. Especially the 2 bandit knights. Their powers are even stronger. They're the strongest amongst the knights. They could very well be on par with the Tianshi Palace leader. Outsider teacher, this test really doesn't allow me to cheat. The inner palace has obviously been refined by that undying bandit, almost like a weapon. The moment a warrior enters the inner palace, that absolute warrior will immediately sense it. Luo Feng frowned. If I want to get the black metal board, I have to enter the inner palace, and if I do, I'll definitely be discovered. Asterisk, 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 Luo Feng hid in space, looking at the distant vast star belt river and even further ice prison stars. If I enter the inner palace, I'll definitely be discovered. It's a dead end. Luo Feng frowned. His gaze landed on the star belt river, recalling the 3-sector Lord Bandit Knights from before. With a thought, demon killer Luo Feng appeared beside him. His body immediately shook and a black energy flowed, transforming into a 3-6M tall green bandit, emitting a cold energy. Natural ability, copy. His life force swiftly changed, becoming exactly the same as the green bandit from before. As long as I don't enter the Masha clansman's body to check, I definitely won't find any flaws. This is also the safest plan with the highest chance of success out of all the plans. Let's hope it succeeds. His earth body and Masha clansman looked at the distant ice prison star, after which the Masha clansman became a beam of light. His speed swiftly rose. Demon Killer Luo Feng had the 20 levels of the Heavenly Bridge. In terms of battle strength, he could completely suppress an official Undying. His comprehension of the origin laws was extremely high, allowing him to easily reach light speed. Chi. His body began universe travel. After a while, in a universe space about 6 million kilometers away from the Ice Hell planet, Demon Killer Luo Feng appeared. At this time, he was a green bandit. His life energy was exactly the same too. Naturally, he openly flew towards the Ice Hell planet. Luo Feng wasn't stupid enough to use the scanning device to hide himself. Bfa, Bfa. A voice resounded in the Masha clansman's ears. HM. Demon Killer Luo Feng was shocked, turning to look. In the distance, a beam of light flew over. It was a purple bandit. It was 2m tall and was much smaller than Demon Killer Luo Feng. It said excitedly, Bfa, have you heard that teacher Terasha sealed a foreign race in ice? Ah, I'm only here to pay my respects to her. Demon Killer Luo Feng thought and said. Luckily, the bandit language was the common demon language of the universe. Actually, due to the low numbers of the special life forms, they usually used the foreign race's language. And Luo Feng obviously knew this language. As for the green bandit's voice, he had heard it before. Let's go. Let's go meet teacher Terasha together. The purple bandit pulled Luo Feng's hand and flew downwards. Luo Feng could only let them pull him. A green bandit, a purple bandit, they flew downwards together. Luo Feng had made ample preparations before coming. He also knew that these bandit life forms had great relationships with each other. They were special life forms. They naturally had unlimited lifespans. And to be able to reproduce from generation to generation, they had to become undying to have eternal life. Their long lifespans caused them to rely on each other. They valued every member of their race as long as one of them died. Even if it was a sector lord level punk, the moment he died, it would incite the wrath of all the bandit. Even the 2 universe knights would chase after the killer. However, many adventuring foreign race warriors still killed many bandit when they came. Demon Killer Luo Feng and the purple bandit held hands, following the pathway of the ice prison star and flying deeper, very quickly arriving at the ice palace. Teacher Terasha, Teacher Terasha. The purple bandit pulled Luo Feng and flew straight into the palace. Luo Feng could only bite the bullet. Very quickly, they flew into the dangerous palace. Simultaneously, a silhouette walked out. It was the warrior that killed the demon monkey earlier. Yuwu, Bfa, you two have arrived. Terasha smiled. There wasn't a trace of the killing intent from before. Instead, it was filled with warmth. However, Luo Feng was very clear. This warmth was for her companions. The moment she discovered his true identity, this Terasha would definitely kill him. What about the foreign race? Yuwu asked, simultaneously looking at the ice sculptures in the palace. Demon Killer Luo Feng also pretended to look around, after which he too looked at the ice sculptures. That's the demon race's demon monkey. It's roughly at the official level. Terasha pointed at the distant ice sculpture. Yuwu pulled Luo Feng's hand and rushed towards the ice sculpture. Luo Feng followed her and landed in front of the ice sculpture devil monkey. Ah, demon monkey. This is the first time I've seen one in real life. Yuwu's eyes gleamed. Bfa, you were the most talkative in the past. Why didn't you say anything today? The purple silhouette reached behind Luo Feng with one step, affectionately rubbing Luo Feng's hundreds of braids. Chapter 9:37. Luo Feng's heart tightened as he allowed Terasha to stroke his pigtail. Beside him, Yuwu said, I also feel that Bfa is bored today. Is there something bothering you? Terasha continued to stroke Luo Feng's pigtail. I'm not in a good mood. I just don't feel like talking. Luo Feng said gloomily. Terasha looked at Luo Feng warmly. Looks like our Bfa has something bothering him. Think about it. If you can't figure it out, tell teacher Terasha. She will tell you. Okay. Luo Feng nodded. He could feel the deep feelings Terasha and Yuwu had for this Bfa familial love. It was an incomparably deep sense of familial love. The information is indeed true. Even though the special life, known Co, are fierce towards other invading races, they treat each other like family. Whoever kills one of them will be hunted by all the other known Co. Luo Feng thought to himself. The two of you can play here. Tara Shah smiled. If there's anything, come find me in the training hall. All right, Teacher Tara Shah. Yu said. Understood, Teacher Tara Shah. Luo Feng said. Tara Shah smiled and turned around to leave. Only then did Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief. In the video, Tara Shah was cold and filled with killing intent when she killed the devil monkeys. Now, she was like a loving mother. What Luo Feng didn't know was that the evolution of the universe and the special life forms known Co weren't born at the same time. Some were born early, some later. 300 million years ago, a new known Co was born. Tara Shah was born out of the thousands of known Co. She was born 1 trillion years earlier than Bei Fa in Yu. Her strength was ranked in the top 10 among the thousands of known Co. She took on the responsibility of teaching the weaker known Co. That's why Bei Fa in Yu called her Teacher Tara Shah. Luo Feng looked at the ice sculptures in front of him. There were devil monkeys, warriors from the Thunder Fountain clan, and even a human warrior. However, they were all frozen. Their souls had long been frozen. One interesting devil monkey. Yu carefully observed the devil monkey for a while. This is the first time I've seen it in the real world. I've always seen it in the virtual world. Virtual world? Luo Feng's heart moved. Virtual technology was considered a very common technology in the universe. It could be used to build a small virtual world. For example, back then, Earth had obtained a personal optical computer from an ancient spaceship wreckage and built the virtual world of the War God Temple. Small-scale virtual worlds had always been a very common technology. What was difficult was to create a large-scale virtual world. A virtual world that covered an entire galaxy. A virtual world that covered an entire star field, or a star zone, or even a human territory, or even the entire virtual universe. The larger the scope, the higher the difficulty. It was indeed easy for the bandit pirates to build a virtual world that covered the entire ice prison star belt. Just the AI quantum computers they acquired from the invading alien warriors were enough to easily accomplish it. Luo Feng understood. BFA, let's go to the Hall of Secrets, Yao said. The secret method created by Teacher Tara Shah is very complicated. I won't be going. Luo Feng said, I want to walk alone. Oh, Ya nodded. That's right. The secret method created by Teacher Tara Shah is suitable for us, but not for you. Luo Feng froze for a moment before understanding that Ya was referring to the difference between the green bandit and the purple bandit. Then I'll be going. Ya happily scurried away and disappeared. My luck sure is good. Luo Feng let out a sigh of relief. I was still thinking of a way to move alone. I didn't expect to find an opportunity so easily. HM, let's go to the place where the black metal board is stored. Luo Feng scurried away and began flying around the palace. In the deepest part of the palace, within the training hall, Tara Shah sat cross-legged on the ice floor. A formless godly energy swept through the entire palace. She revealed a smile. Ya has gone to the Hall of Secrets. Bei Fa has gone to the Hall of 10,000. Ya is really something. She knew Bei Fa was in a bad mood. Yet she didn't accompany him and went to the Hall of Secrets instead. Bei Fa doesn't train in my path, that's good too. The Hall of 10,000 has all sorts of strange items collected from the alien races. It can also distract Bei Fa. After which, Tara Shah closed her eyes and connected her consciousness to the virtual world to communicate with the other clansmen. To the special life form, Yako. Over the long years, there were many alien undyings who came to the Ice Hell Star Belt with wishful thinking. Even though 99% of them were captured, there were still a few lucky ones who managed to steal treasures. This made it so that there would always be alien undyings who would come and try their luck. After they were killed, many of the treasures they carried with them were useless to the Yako. They were usually thrown away as decorations or playthings. Tara Shah had placed many of her playthings in a hall and named it the Hall of 10,000. The black metal board was within the Hall of 10,000. Within the Hall of 10,000, Luo Feng casually walked around and arrived at the Hall of 10,000. As the entire palace had already been accurately scanned by the Devil Conch Monkey's large-scale scanning device, he already had an accurate picture of the structure of the palace. Right now, it's all up to luck. Luo Feng stepped into the Myriad Hall and stepped on the ice-cold ground. His gaze landed on the various items that were randomly piled on the ground. There were some weapons, some armors, some special materials, etc. They were all randomly placed on the ground. These items were not worth much. At least Luo Feng did not take them seriously. Black metal board. Luo Feng fiercely waved his hand and threw the items to the side. He looked at the buried black metal board. The third black metal board. Luo Feng knew with a touch that it was the one he was looking for. Right now it's all up to luck. Once I get the black metal board, I'll leave immediately. Luo Feng thought. From the time I leave the palace to the time I leave the Hall of 10,000, it'll take a while. In this short period of time, if Terasha finds out that something's wrong, then I'll be in big trouble. However, she shouldn't have too much of a guard against her people. I have a chance of escaping. And from the looks of it, the black metal board was just randomly placed here. She obviously didn't care about it. Luo Feng didn't hesitate anymore. After taking the black metal board and keeping it in his world ring, he immediately headed out. So, Luo Feng darted around the palace. His speed wasn't considered slow or fast. The moment he flew out of the inner palace, a voice resounded in his ears. "Bei Fa, you're going back? You're not waiting for Wu." "I'm not waiting anymore. I want to go back." Even though Luo Feng was shocked, he still said, "I'll come back to teacher Tarash's place next time." "HM, go on." Terasha intimately instructed him. Luo Feng couldn't care less about anything else. Very quickly, he flew out of the palace and followed the pathway out of the ice prison planet. Even though he had the ability to teleport, Luo Feng didn't dare to use it, because the moment he did, he would definitely be discovered. This was clearly stated in the Virtual Universe Company's information. Even though he was extremely anxious, Luo Feng resisted the urge to fly out. Within the virtual world built in the ice prison planet belt, in a plaza, Terasha was sitting with 3 other bandit clansmen, drinking some fruit wine. Simultaneously, she shook her head. "This child Bei Fa, I don't know what's up with him. When he went to my place earlier, he felt bored, and it felt a little different. I don't know why. Maybe his confession was rejected." One of the bandit laughed. Thousands of bandit clansmen, even though they couldn't reproduce, the green bandit clansmen would usually pursue the purple bandit clansmen and live together. As there were many green bandit clansmen and few purple ones, along with the fact that many of the purple bandit clansmen preferred to live alone, it was common for them to be rejected. "Terasha, you said when Bei Fa went to your place, he felt bored?" "I just saw Bei Fa, Boya, and the others laughing as they went to battle games together." Laughing loudly, Tarash's expression changed. The bandit clansmen were pure in nature. They wouldn't hide it. One of them was bored earlier, and now he was laughing happily with the other clansmen as they went to battle games. Within the training palace, Terasha, who was sitting cross-legged, suddenly opened her eyes. Her expression changed. A formless god energy swiftly spread outwards, sweeping towards demon killer Luo Feng, who had just flown out of the pathway. The formless spirit energy permeated his body, easily discovering the life crystal within the fake Bei Fa's body. "It's not Bei Fa. It's a different race." Tarash's eyes suddenly emitted a terrifying killing intent. Shua, Terasha, who was originally within the palace, immediately teleported and vanished. The next time she appeared, she was before Luo Feng. Teleportation was a taboo in the Ice Prison Star Belt. Even though the powerful warriors of this group of unique life forms, like Terasha, and many of them knew how to teleport, they normally didn't use it. They all relied on universe travel to reach their companions, because when the other races came to steal treasures, the fastest method was to teleport. As long as the bandit clansmen didn't use teleportation, The moment they discovered the ripples of teleportation, there would definitely be other races coming. Other than that, when they discovered other races chasing after them, they could naturally use teleportation too. Anyway, the moment they discovered the ripples of teleportation, it meant that there were other races invading or something major had happened. Different races. Have they come? Within the ice prison star belt, within the many ice prison planets, tens of powerful, undying bandit clansmen simultaneously felt the ripples. And in the ice hell star belt, the two largest ice hell stars, one had a diameter of 103,000 kilometers, the other had a diameter of 96,000 kilometers. These two ice hell stars were the residences of the two terrifying universe knights. The special life forms universe knights were incomparably powerful from birth. Different races? Different races? The two universe venerables also discovered it. As long as I fly out of the ice prison planet and accelerate to light speed, I'll be able to escape without anyone noticing. Luo Feng was rushing out of the ice prison planet's pathway, continuing to fly high up in the air. There was a strong energy flow near the surface, similar to Earth's atmosphere. Even though it wasn't as thick, there was still resistance. He had to fly out to accelerate to light speed. Rumble! A strong energy suddenly appeared above Luo Feng. It was the purple silhouette. Tarash's killing intent filled the skies, staring at Luo Feng. Her cold voice resounded throughout the land and skies. Different races! Luo Feng, who was flying up, saw the purple silhouette. His expression changed greatly. Monday, please get some recommendation votes. With the recommendation votes, we'll rush to the top of the recommendation board. Chapter 9:38. Tarasha was filled with rage within. She didn't expect a foreign being to actually impersonate her clansman. She had even touched the fake Bay FA's braid before. This made her even more furious. Unforgivable. Rumble. Tarasha immediately teleported above Luo Feng. Looking coldly at the fake Bay FA, she didn't waste any time and immediately pointed at Demon Killer Luo Feng. A purple light immediately shot towards him. The moment Demon Killer Luo Feng saw Tarasha appear, he knew something wasn't right. Damn it, I've been discovered. I'll execute Plan 3. Luo Feng immediately used teleportation at the same time. However, that purple light was indeed extremely fast. It immediately shot into his body, and a heart-trembling coldness swept through his body, almost as though his consciousness and willpower were frozen. Unfortunately, this attack that had immense power against the soul met with the Masha clansman that was completely immune to soul attacks. So, Luo Feng vanished. What? Tarasha couldn't believe it. Her full-strength attack to freeze the enemy's soul actually allowed him to escape. Tarasha closed her eyes and felt in all directions. Her consciousness and space laws rippled together, and she tried hard to sense. However, obviously Luo Feng's teleportation distance was simply too far beyond her sensing range. Tarasha, don't make such a mistake again. Leave it to me. A powerful voice resounded in Tarash's mind. Leader, he stole a black metal board. I know. Leave everything to me. Yes, leader. Tarasha nodded. However, she was still unwilling. She didn't think that sly bastard would be able to escape. When she used teleportation, the two most terrifying universe supremacies in the entire Ice Hell Star Belt would pay attention to this place. Even if she was caught off guard and allowed the alien to teleport away, the two universe supremacies could easily chase and kill him. So, in the space above the Star River, Demon Killer Luo Feng suddenly appeared and vanished again. So, in the air above a huge continent, Demon Killer Luo Feng suddenly appeared and vanished again. So, madly teleporting every time he teleported over 1 light year away. Luo Feng didn't care about the danger. He just used his fastest speed to escape. In the sky above a piece of land, a green figure exuding boundless pressure stood in the void. There was a hint of a smile in his eyes. This little fellow from the foreign race is really fast at escaping. However, just knowing how to teleport and mastering the entire law of space are on completely different levels. How can you possibly escape from me? The cyan figure spread out in all directions and sensed the fluctuations everywhere. He easily sensed the fluctuations of teleportation in one direction. Right there, the green figure flashed and chased after him as if he was toying with his prey. Usually, after comprehending teleportation, regardless of whether one was a realm lord or a conferred monarch, the distance they could teleport was about the same. Teleportation depended on one's comprehension of the law of space. In an instant, his body fused with the spatial fluctuations, and he was directly transmitted to the coordinates of a certain spatial fluctuation that he could sense in the distance. After comprehending teleportation, one would be able to sense more than 1 light year in a certain direction. However, if he were to sense in all directions at the same time, it would be much more strenuous. The sensing distance would only be about 1% of what it would be if you were to sense in a single direction. Hence, the moment Luo Feng fled, that Terasha couldn't even sense where Luo Feng had teleported to. But the two universe supremacies were different. After comprehending the complete law of space, the distance the universe lords could teleport was much more exaggerated. Universe lords could directly teleport over 1,000 light years in one go. Even if they were to sense in all directions, they could still cover a radius of over 10 light years. Luckily, Luo Feng was constantly teleporting, and his position was constantly changing. That universe lord would have to spend some effort to catch him. Who? Demon killer Luo Feng appeared in mid-air on a continuous mountain range, his hands and feet on the ground. So, he vanished again. Following almost at the same time, the green silhouette appeared in the air above the mountain range and vanished again. One chasing and one fleeing. This punk really doesn't stop. The green silhouette chased for tens of seconds before getting impatient, because he had to teleport tens of times every second. If this universe lord wanted to easily catch him, it would be difficult, because he had to confirm where Luo Feng was before he teleported. Just the process of confirming and teleporting allowed Luo Feng to escape again. I have to spend some energy. The green silhouette stood in midair. Around him were many little black mountains. Tens of thousands of them floated with ship wreckages. This was one of the dangerous areas of the Wuhua secret region. Of course, to the universe lord, he didn't care about this. He immediately unleashed his technique. Rumble! A glaring green light emanated from the green silhouette. In an instant, the green silhouette seemed to become a star, emitting endless green light in all directions, using such a strong amount of energy just to disrupt the space ripples. With the universe lord's strength, since he had complete control of the space laws, he could easily seal and destroy the space ripples. Just affecting the space ripples was simple. However, normally, there was a limit to it. At this time, this universe lord burned some of his god energy. Immediately, his strength reached an unbelievable level. Wong, just like plucking the strings of a zither, it easily reached the end. This universe lord immediately unleashed his full strength. The space ripples were immediately disrupted and immediately spread over 10 light years. A light year was simply an extremely large area. Normal battles between universe lords couldn't even affect 1 light year. Even for something as simple as disrupting the space ripples, he still had to burn some undying god energy to be able to exceed 10 light years. Mist pervaded the space. Demon killer Luo Feng was about to teleport when he shook his head and sighed. He could clearly feel the space ripples becoming chaotic. Many areas were broken. Even though they would quickly recover, at least for now, he couldn't teleport anymore. Rumble. A strong pressure emanated and enveloped the surrounding space. Simultaneously, the surrounding space was naturally sealed. That terrifying seal caused Luo Feng to be unable to move at all. It was almost as though he was trapped. Night! Demon killer Luo Feng shouted. Change back to your original form. I don't like killing my clansmen. A powerful voice resounded. The green silhouette appeared before Luo Feng. His height was about the same as the other bandit. However, His pressure was much stronger. Standing there, he represented the will of space. That pressure, Luo Feng was shocked within. Since you want to kill me, what right do you have to order me around? Luo Feng looked at the universe lord before him. Green Furry Bandit looked at Luo Feng. You sure are daring. Just because you are from the Masha clan, you aren't afraid of my soul control. Yes. Luo Feng nodded. The Masha clan didn't have a soul. Naturally, they couldn't be controlled. This was the difference in life forms. Luo Feng had done his research long ago. He was very clear on this. Speak, Masha genius. Green Furry Bandit looked at Luo Feng. A sector lord like you can actually teleport. Even if you're from the Masha clan, you're still an absolute genius. You actually came here. And what I'm curious about is, from your constant teleportation, you obviously know that you can't escape from me. Then why are you still doing useless things? Teleporting again and again, forcing me to burn 0.1% of my god body. You should know, but doing this to anger me. Knowing you can't escape, angering a universe lord is not a wise decision. Yes. Demon killer Luo Feng smiled. Kill me, and you'll know the reason. Don't tell me you. Green Furry Bandit's eyes emitted killing intent. Simultaneously, he revealed a look of rage. He fiercely waved his hand. Rumble, a formless palm slapped onto demon killer Luo Feng's body. In an instant, he was completely destroyed. Even his normal world ring and sensors were destroyed. Countless materials were destroyed. No, that black metal board, it's gone. Green Furry Bandit looked carefully. He had smashed that foreign being into pieces. All the normal items were destroyed, but he didn't find anything else. Green Furry Bandit's expression changed. The entire ice hell, star belt, the other bandit didn't know the importance of the black metal board. However, he and Purple Furry Bandit, these two universe lords knew. We've been tricked. Venerable Ching Fu Ko snorted angrily. He must have dropped the black metal plate during one of his teleportations. In another part of the Wu Hua secret area, a few thousand light years away from the Ice Hell Star Belt, a life ship floated there. Within the ship, Luo Feng stood in the control room. In his hand was a rock. He smiled, I've got it. To get the 9-level secret manual, Luo Feng had formulated many plans. Just the Masha clansman's movements alone had 6 plans. It was enough to deal with all sorts of situations. The third plan actually calculated that the universe lords wouldn't easily burn their god energy. The third plan, when the Masha clansman is discovered, he would immediately teleport and steal the metal board, then immediately teleport away, and then he would teleport again and again. The process had to be fast. 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 There couldn't be any hesitation, teleporting again and again. Even when the universe lords were chasing, they wouldn't bear to burn their god energy. Only when they were tired of chasing would they burn their god energy to capture Masha Luo Feng. However, in truth, in that floating mountain range, Luo Feng had already arranged for a slave to hide in his world ring within the mountain range. When a Masha clansman teleported there, his hands and legs pressed against the mountain range, he placed a world ring disguised as a rock there and immediately teleported away. Green Furry Bandit continued to chase. What he didn't know was that the black metal board was being carried by Luo Feng's slave through universe travel. 10 seconds into the dark universe before returning to the Wu Hua secret area. At that time, who knew how far away he was? I've got it. It's time to return. I've lost an official level demon conch monkey and the Masha clansman in this mission. However, with some energy, I can produce another one. Luo Feng held the rock in his hand and smiled. Suddenly, a cold energy emanated from behind him. Luo Feng's expression changed, and he turned fiercely. Behind him stood a beautiful woman dressed in a purple robe. Her naked body could be seen. However, Luo Feng's heart skipped a beat. He knew who this was. It was the other knight of the 2 universes in the Ice Hell Star Belt. Purple Furry Bandit. 2 chapters completed. The November double event is halfway through. We're currently number 1. Tomato thanks everyone's support. However, the month has just begun. Everything is still uncertain. This double event is the most crucial time to decide the votes. Please support us with your monthly votes.